Hi everybody, David Midgley alongside Gert Maloney as we bring you CSA T20 action. Is the final round robin game of this year's competition. It's game 53 of 59 and it is Michael Erlang and the AET Tuskers taking on Bjorn Fortuin and the DP World Wanderers. Good afternoon to you all. This is the DP World Wanderers, DP World Lions rather, is who they are playing. This is a home game for the AET Tuskers, and with nothing really left for them to fight for, they will give everything that they can because of the foregone conclusion of their demotion from First Division. Gert, welcome to you and welcome to the viewers.
Thank you very much. It's going to be one of those very interesting matches where the last time these two teams met, the Tuskers rolled over the Lions, and that was a bit of a shocker. It was one of the season openers. It was in that very first week, and we thought, hey, Tuskers have arrived to play. And then all of a sudden, the season turned out the way it did.
It was a stark contrast from that first game at the Maritzburg Oval. The Lions, defending champions at the time, shell-shocked really by the newly promoted AET Tuskers, but it hasn't really gone the way of AET Tuskers this season. They've not been able to string together enough victories to stave off relegation, and so they'll be going back down to Division 2. Congratulations to the ITEC Knights on their promotion to Division 1 for the 2024-25 season, and we'll give you those teams. The Lions won the toss, electing to bowl. We'll give you those teams in just a moment. Delano Potgieter will open the bowling from the golf course end. He goes to Kagiso Rapolana, one slip in place and a square leg out on the onside. And just tucks this away onto the onside. And they're off the mark with a single. So the home side is going to be brought to you by Gert. You've got the home side as yes. The AET Tuskers.
Tuskers is the home side today. It's one of those very extraordinary situations they find themselves in. Being relegated, we've got Erlang Rapolano, who's been a bit of a revelation with them this season, batted very well. They also got Shackleton in, which will most likely slot in at number 3. For them, Keith Dudgeon has been a phenomenal find for them. It might be, because they're getting relegated, he might be up for one or two discussions around the table. Potgieter into Delport.
Not afraid to pitch it up here is Delano Potgieter. Somebody you wouldn't expect to open the bowling, especially with the likes of Cody Youssef and Lutus Pamela in the bank, but an interesting decision nevertheless.
Yeah, then also we've got Klebela coming in for Kumalo. That's Tsamsangka that's been injured. And also we've got another injury, Bumbelo Budaza, the left armer.
Yeah, he just bowled one ball in that previous game against the Hollywood Bets Dolphins and had to come off. Really didn't look comfortable on his ankle, so it looks like he will.
We're not sure if it was an ankle or maybe a knee, but he definitely did not look comfortable, wasn't a happy camper. But Tanduntini comes in for him. Manikam, and in the opening, Delport. The Statesman is in as per normal, opening the batting with Rapolana.
It's a deep backward point on the offside. And that's maybe where Delano Potgieter wanted him to play that one, but too wide there.
And then also Carl Nipper is also in this team. So the two gentlemen coming in is Klebela and also Tanduntini. And then the visiting team will be taken through. And also one or two interesting facts with the visiting team, because they have a situation where they could finish top of the log, David.
Absolutely. At the end of this over, we'll give you all of that and more in terms of the scenarios at play this afternoon. Just maybe gets an inside edge and some confident appeals, but maybe stifled because they knew it was nothing doing. So 2 balls remaining in the first over. It's 3 without loss. Hamza makes a return to the Lions side after dominating the Dragons in the game not too long ago. He replaces Ryan Rickleton. Riza Hendricks, Temba Bavuma, Rassie van der Dussen, Mitchell van Buren. Connor Esterhazen dons the gloves. He was the one who partnered Ryan Rickleton in that game in which the Lions wrapped it up with 10 wickets to spare. Just glides that away backward of point. There's a chase on here for Van Buren. They'll get comfortably back for 2 in the end. And then you've got your all-rounders and bowlers, Potgieter, Fortuin, Cody Yusuf, Luto Sapamla, and persisting with the leg spinner Ngaba Peter, who's done really well this season, giving the Lions selectors something to think about. He's done really well, having picked up 12 wickets in his 7 games. A little bit expensive at times, but just gets those wickets when you desperately need them. Pitched up and into the ground, and a crowd catch there as that one goes to Bavuma. It's the end of the first. It's 5 without loss after the Lions won the toss and put the Tuskers into bat. Let's give you those scenarios just to help you understand what the picture looks like. So the Lions, Warriors and Dolphins have all qualified for the playoffs. The Lions will have a home semi-final. If the Lions win with a bonus point, they will finish top of the log. If, however, they win without a bonus point and the Warriors don't win with a bonus point, the Lions will finish first. So Lions need a bonus point to finish on top. If not,
to make sure that they're on top.
Correct. And they need to make sure that, they'll hope that the Warriors don't get a bonus point to keep them on top of the log. They are currently on top of the log, 1 point ahead of the Alphabet Warriors. If Lions and Warriors finish tied on 44 points, the team with the higher net run rate will finish first, as each of them won apiece in their head-to-head game. So at the moment, that is the DP World Lions. If the Lions lose, the winner between the Warriors and Dolphins will end up first. As Yusuf gets underway, it's too short there. It's been pulled away, and it'll race away to the boundary for 4. Missed his length there completely, and been punished by the statesman Cameron Delport.
I think Cameron Delport just had a bit of a charge at him there as well, and he dropped it in short, but the quick hands of Delport helping out. Not convincingly, did get the inside part of the bat, because he was aiming a lot straighter than that ball actually went, and he was actually trying to get it over the fence, getting it through that mid-wicket cordon.
Extra width slashed away. It's on the bounce to Van Buren down there in the deep. And just a 1 for it. Opening the blade. Delport. A little bit of extra width there from Cody Yusuf. Maybe trying to recover from that previous delivery.
Yeah, and Cameron Delport not scared to throw the hands. As you mentioned, Tuskers got nothing to lose, so they can play no fear cricket today. They're playing for pride more than anything else. And what a feather in the cap it would be for them going down to that second division, saying that we've beaten the Lions twice on the bounce.
Absolutely. And Western Province and Titans are playing this afternoon, and whoever wins that one will see them the final semi-final spot. Just gets up onto his toes and immediately sets off. There was a shy at the striker's end. Temba Bavuma, he got a run out in the last game at SuperSport Park. That was an absolute cracker of a game, Gert, in which the Yuxke sides showing what quality they have on offer. The previous game at the Wanderers, a one-run victory, and this time the Titans getting over their neighbours at home with a 2-wicket win. Corbin Bosch, the hero, after not being able to come right in the return fixture, so to speak. Short, and there's a little bit of inconsistent pace as that one goes out to Rassie van der Dussen at deep square leg.
It absolutely rushed Cameron Delport that one, but I also think when Cody Yusuf saw him charging him again, I think it was a little bit extra venom in. It is his 3rd delivery in the over already, and we know what a competitor Cody Yusuf is. He loves getting under the skin, under the nose of the batter.
And Cody Yusuf guilty in that instance of a no ball. So the signal from umpire Abongilo Sotumo is that it is a free hit. No worries for Rapulana here. Short, and he's rushed him again. This is just popped up. Simple catch by Potgieter. And muted response as it was the free hit. And now they're going to have to do a check on Rapulana. Hit him on the noggin. And they really will ring his bell.
It's one of those very psychological tests that they bring out. It's a big thing. I would still love to know what questions they actually ask them, because it's fundamental questions like, do you know where you are, what's your age,
what day of the week
what
it
day
is.
of the week it is. You know, so it's one of those scenarios where that soccer player was thanking his girlfriend and his wife at the same time, so you don't want that. So they're checking, and also just checking that the helmet is sorted as well, because the next blow might be a little bit worse. But just going back to scenarios that we're in, that last semi-place is still up for grabs. It is a big game this afternoon, and we also know how destructive those two teams can be as well. So that semi-final, because in normal circumstances one will play 4, so they will play either the Warriors or the Lions depending on this match, and then 2 will play 3, so it will be either the Warriors or the Lions playing the Dolphins.
It's going to be an interesting contest out there at Newlands. Wonderful team across the country have been bringing you every single moment of this year's CSA domestic summer, and it's been a privilege to broadcast this wonderful domestic season to you in all the formats, the ladies and the gentlemen. It's been a thrill to call these games home live on SuperSport's YouTube channel. And if you want to get in contact, hashtag Wazanawe or hashtag SS Cricket. Yusuf continues. Rapolana made sure he got better on that one. Just glides this down to deep backward point for the single.
A nice steady start here. Cameron Delport taking all the risks at the moment. And he does love pace on ball. He does like whacking it through the line. Deep point and a deep square out for Cameron Delport. As we mentioned, the deep point coming into the circle now, and they're sending out the mid wicket because he has been charging at. Go to Yusuf.
Down the wicket again, into the surface, just parried by Yusuf, and they come through for a scampered single. Both of these players, Delport and Rapolana, having played here for the Lions in previous lifetime, so to speak, and it's the end of the second. It's 15 without loss.
We should see when they're actually going to take off the pace. They've got 2 spinners in the team, does the Lions. So when do you introduce Bjorn Fortuin? My suspect feeling will be that he'll be the one bowling in the power play if they're going to bring in spin earlier. With Cameron Delport looking to be positive and actually taking it to the bowlers, that might be the way to go for them. Delano Potgieter taking up the ball. He's going to continue. He had a pretty decent first over, only conceding the 5 runs.
Just dispensing with Bavuma, who is very close in on the leg side of mid-wicket. He's on the ring now. Outside half of the bat, and he's just scooped it straight to the man at backward point. Not a difficult catch at all. He didn't really have to move, and he swallowed it. That's the end of Delport. Maybe just not quite the timing that he was looking for. He's gone for 8 from 7, and the Tuskers have lost their first.
Yeah, it's number 1 in the wickets column for the Lions. That's the one they would have wanted because he was looking to be very positive. 8 from 7. And that was a bit of fielding practice. They kind of just picked out the man and not hit hard, timing not there. And well worked wicket for the Lions.
And that will no doubt put pressure on this Tusker side. It's something that they struggled with against the Hollywood Bets Dolphins in the KZN derby just a couple of days ago. Kyle Nipper is the new man to the crease, 62 matches, strikes it at 105. So they'll need everything that he has available in his arsenal to prevent the Lions from getting a handle on this game, because so often the Lions have been good in getting wickets in clusters of their opposition. That's been a strength for them. We saw that in the game against the Titans, and it was such a nail biter that it ebbed and flowed, and wickets in clusters kept the Lions in it right until the end.
Actually, look throughout the season, they've got a knack of breaking partnerships, don't they? And once that partnership is broken, the set batter normally follows his partner as well. So that's one thing that the DP World Lions have done very well over this season.
Slip in place now for the new man. And he's just happy to let that go through to the wicketkeeper.
Lovely carry, yeah, lovely carry as well. He's actually taking the ball across the left-hander. You just see on the bottom of your screen maybe, see the captain just waving his arms. He might be warming up to bowl the next over.
And that first one from Cody Yusuf going for 10. So maybe the skipper feeling like now that they've taken a wicket is the time to strike. Oh, he's given that a lot of extra time to swing. Lovely delivery. Just a bit of shadow batting there.
Yeah, I think Carl Nipper must just take a minute here. Just settle himself down, and then also it almost looked like he was trying to walk into that shot instead of just natural feet movement. But all the credit to Delano Potgieter, you mentioned it earlier, is not afraid to pitch it up in the start of the matchup.
Extra width there, and umpire Brad White is exercising early here. The other one who's missed out, speaking of all-rounders, is Vian Mulder, not playing in today's game. Did well in that game against the Titans, but just missing out and knowing what the rotation policy is for the Lions. They've been very good at when a new player comes into the mix that he's contributed immediately.
I think it's a scenario where the Lions is one of the few teams that the rotation has gone very well for them. They bring in new players, they put up their hand, they make it very difficult for the set players to actually cement their place, because you miss one or two and injury doesn't go your way, there's always someone that can come in.
Yeah, you just saw Zubair Hamza on screen. His transition from Western Province, I could argue, if I was his mentor, that it's been a good one for him. Beating the inside half of the bat. Delano Potgieter is asking many questions here of Carl Nipper, and I don't know if he quite has all the answers.
At the moment, they're not in the same book even. And it just looks like Carl Nipper, if he's not walking at, he's kind of just standing and delivering. The feet is not moving. Almost like he's got cement bricks underneath.
Yeah, he looks very uncomfortable playing the swinging ball from Potgieter here.
And it's not like it's massive swing. It's not big lateral movement. It's natural in and out shape.
Straight to one this time. It's chipped up over Bavuma, who was in a catching mid-wicket position. This will trickle away to the fence. Sipamela's trying to catch on to it, but he won't get there, and that'll go for 4. Just too straight there from Potgieter. He did all the hard work to set him up there, and the last one of the over wasn't the one that he would have hoped for. 3 gone, it's 20 for 1.
That ball just swung into the pads of Nipper, and with him not moving his feet, easy shot. Just get it over Bavuma, which is, don't need to hit it that high either. So just get it over the player. Doesn't matter. This outfield at Wanderers has always been a fantastic one. You get a lot of credit for your shots.
You called it. Bjorn Fortuin will not bowl yet. Lutus Sipamela given ball in hand. Well, Bjorn Fortuin was standing there like he might toss his arm over, but this is a late season wicket, Gert, and with the amount of heat that we've had in the last few days or so, maybe just giving the opportunity for the surface to bake down hard. There's not much grass on the wicket. There's a little slight tinge of green, but nevertheless not something to write home about. Lutus Sipamela will bowl from the call-it drive, and he goes to Kagiso Rapulana. Squeezed away down to Fonadison there at deep backward point, and there's a bit of a fumble, but they don't go for the second.
Almost a fake out there, trying to get him to run a second there. And it's just one of those scenarios where, what if you were the Lions, Cam? What score would you be eyeing up to get within that 16? Because they need to get whatever the Tuskers said to them, they need to get it within 16 overs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's those bonus points that they're looking for to ensure that they remain first on the log. And with the home semi-final booked, You just want to add sugar on top, and that's a sweet shot there from Carl Nipper. He just flicks that away onto the onside. One bounce, and it's 4 runs.
Yeah, it's Carl Nipper again. That feet not moving. They're targeting those pads, which is not the best way to go. Sapamla is almost just putting it down there. A little bit of batting practice, a bit of throwdowns there for Carl Nipper. One thing that the Lions should be aware of is that this Tuskers team has beaten them before. They mustn't get too comfortable just because they are harboring there on the top of the log.
Just defends this one. Good response there from Luto Sapamla. It was a Keith Dudgeon masterclass in which he snuffed out 4 talented batsmen for not very much.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they were 17 or 18 down for the loss of 4. And it was all the big guns that he got in that first couple of overs that he bowled.
Understanding it was rain-affected game, but you have to capitalize on any advantages you can get. This is Division 1, and it is very cutthroat. Sapamla in again to Nipper.
Yeah.
Just works that away behind square on the onside, and they'll canter through for a single.
Just making it a little bit too easy with the line that he's bowling. They can just drop and go, or even play the expansive shot. For Carl Nipper, it is only Rassie van der Dussen that's on the fence on the leg side. So with the deep point, you felt that he might push it across a little bit more with the left-hander. Now the right-hander field stays exactly the same. They've got deep square outs and deep point. And still no slip. Not very attacking at the moment is the Lions.
Slapped away. It's beaten the man close in. It's beaten the man at the edge of the ring. And that'll race away to the boundary for 4. Maybe a mistimed shot, but effective nevertheless from Rapulana.
Almost looks like both fielders just mistimed their dives completely. And it is someone that puts his fielding in a very high standard. It is Bavuma. He's a phenomenal fielder.
Reza Hendricks in the covers with him there. Had a bit of a surprise error in the last game. At a crucial moment. This could be a crucial moment. Umpire Sodumo not interested and signals leg byes.
That one just looked like it was missing leg. Just did too much by Sapamla coming into the right-hander. It is the 4th leg by, the 4th extra that's been handed in. We've had the wide as well. 31 for 1 after 4 overs, and it is Carl Nipper and Rapulana trying to get a partnership going. They're in double figures. They're on 16.
And maybe an over later than we expected, but Bjorn Fortuin will begin a spell from the golf course end. He's done well this season, has Bjorn Fortuin, after leading the wicket-taking standings in the 4-day competition. He's got 14 wickets to his name thus far in the CSA T20 competition, and has led by example for the DP World Lions.
And that best of 4 for 8. What a day that was for Fortuin. I cast my mind back. I think 4 of those runs actually came past the keeper as well with an edge that went down to the boundary.
Right, Fortuin is going to go around the wicket to Rapulana. There is a long off who's about 10 meters off, and then cow corner. Miscues this one. There's a shy at the strikers in, but maybe a little bit late on the pickup there was Cody Yusuf.
Played very soft hands there. Couldn't really get through because see the high backlift. The intent was actually to go after Bjorn Fortuin there. He was trying to muscle that one. Looks like he's going to stay around the wicket to the left-hander as well, trying to create a bit of an angle to bring in these 2 players on the fence, which is long on and deep mid-wicket.
Knowing that there's that vacant land, Nipper happy to just nip this away to the onside for the single. Currently going at 7.6 to the over are these 2. Fortuin's been so good in the power play. Normally starts up for the Lions, but coming second chase down the ground. Lovely stroke by Rapolana. It's going to trickle down, but Riese Hendricks will clean it up. Good shot, though, and they'll get 2 for it.
It actually looked like he felt he timed it better than he actually did, because he was admiring the shot, and he saw that Hendricks is herring after it, and he pulled it up about 5 meters short from the fence.
It's also, this outfield has not had much rain in the last little bit. There was a long patch of rain in the February-March area, but since then it's been very dry. And so as we head in towards autumn and winter, these surfaces will provide a different challenge than some of the players are used to. And he just defends this one on the front foot. A reminder that the format of the season used to be that the CSA T20 challenge got things underway, and they would conclude with CSA One Day Cup, mixing things up for the season. Nurdled away onto the onside, and down the deep, in the deep, there's where Hamza cleans up for the one. It's the end of 5, and it's 36 for 1.
Now, thus far, not a lot of fireworks, not a lot of things to get excited about. We had the 1 wicket of Delport, had a bit of fielding practice there for deep point, for backward points, and from there, nothing really. We haven't had a maximum yet. We had in the last over a Polana that looked like he was going to nail one, and it just plugged in the outfield, didn't really go anywhere. So Zapamla is going to finish out the power play for us. And would you be happy with 36 on the board after 5, Dave?
Depends which camp you're asking. Zapamla begins a new over to Rapolana. Down the wicket again, inside out, there's a man under it. Bang, he's got him. Good catch there. He could have mistimed his run in from the shade. Rapolana trying to accelerate things, and he's been undone by Luto Supamla. Great start to the over for the DP World Lions, but the Tuskers are in trouble once again. It's 36 for 2.
It is almost like, if you could just see the shimmy down and a big heave opening up the face, it is almost like if they do not charge the bowlers, they don't have an aggressive shot to play. We saw it with Delport as well. He's charging at them, and there's nothing really happening, no flow or anything. That one, you could just see the wrist breaking, opening up. He wanted to hit out that over extra cover, and it ended up being caught at a deep backward point. And this is a young man that you will know pretty well as well, David. It is Cameron Shackleton coming in.
Shackleton comes to the wicket now, having played his schoolboy cricket here in Gauteng, and he's done enough to get a contract, but unfortunately his season thus far hasn't been what he would have hoped he could find himself looking at the end of the season. He's struggled a little bit, as have all the Tuskers players, and just having a look, he scored 137 runs with his highest score 35, so not the high standard that he sets himself, and especially coming from the Highveld where the talent pool is so big, you've got to stand out from your compatriots. But nevertheless, every time you walk to the crease, there is an opportunity to change not only the game for yourself, but for your team as well. Supamla herring in.
And that is now where it comes in, because it's one of those things where you mentioned now you can do it for yourself. It's one of those last games. You're basically in the back end. The CSA T20 is gone. Semi-finals and finals ahead of us. This is somewhere where he might just put up his hand and play a decent knock here, and someone will just say, hold on, this is a youngster we need to look at.
Yeah, it offers you that wicket-keeping option as well. Maybe sides just looking at the balance before they sign their contracts, and he could be in that mix. Inside edge. It so nearly could have gone onto the stumps. Fortuitous runs, but there's 4 of them, and Shackleton gets off the mark.
It's another batter. No feet movement, stand and deliver, and very lucky, a very educated edge, finding the gap between the 45 and the keeper. And it's all the way down, and it's bringing up the 40. Trying to make use of this last few deliveries of the power play.
Yeah, you mentioned an opportunity for a youngster, and if things are going to come right for you, you've got to have a bit of luck in order to feel like you're in the mix here. Pamela steaming in. Shackleton has a huge waft at that one. Beats him on the outside half of the bat. And Shackleton furiously scratching away there at the floor.
Yeah, I must admit I'm scratching my head a little bit. I wanted them to play no fear cricket, but keep the cricket brain on at least. Because they're having a big swipe at everything at the moment, and it's almost like they're trying to hit themselves out of contention of this match. And the Lions wouldn't mind that; they'll be happy.
And a brilliant response from the fast bowler. Short ball, and Shackleton's happy to just drop his hands to that one.
And that was actually very well played. I'm very happy to see that. Great technique. Dropped behind and kept his eye on the ball. That was much better shot, although it was a leave than the previous waft that he had. And he's such a talented young player that he can he can accelerate. He does hit a long ball as well. He's so much time that he can just work himself into an innings, and he's still got 14 overs after this left, so a lot of time.
And then again, bit of a rush of blood type shot. It's the end of the 6th. It's 40 for 2.
That is the end of the power play for the Tuskers. 40 for 2. On 40, I think the 2 wickets will hurt them more than the runs. I think they'll be happy if they were around about 55 or so, Dave.
It's not always easy to gauge where scores should be at this point in the season. It's a lot drier outfield and the wicket itself. But that being said, as you mentioned, 50 or more at the end of the power play will leave one side more comfortable than the other. The Lions will be happy with those 2 wickets. And if they continue to squeeze the AET Tuskers, it might be a procession. Extra bit of air there from Bjorn Fortuin. Normally bowls it flatter and quicker. Really likes to get through his over quite quickly. A bit of air offered there.
And he does have that arm ball that's almost like a slider swinging across.
They're running hard for the first one, and they decline through an aware Mitchell van Buren.
Mitchell van Buren is one of those gentlemen that covers a large part of the ground. He's very quick across the park. And he does have a great arm as well. So it's always just when you're a batter, want to realize who the fielder is. See a change in the field as we get another bit of cover for Fortuin.
Yeah.
An extra cover coming into place.
All of the fielders on the offside are about 10-15 off the boundary. Shot, but no interest really from umpire Brad White. And that is because of the lack of pace on the ball. You know, if you hit to the onside, which is the shorter boundary here, you'll get value for money. Just on the back foot and punches this away for the single.
It's also, I think the Lions have noticed that they're trying to muscle the ball instead of just really hitting through the line. And with it approaching autumn and winter, the ball doesn't travel that much. The air is getting a little bit thicker.
Again, just tickles us away to the onside for the single. And I think that's going to be crucial for the partnership building here for Nipper and Shackleton. It's just singles. Get yourselves to a platform where you feel like you're able to launch. I think that's where the Tuskers could find themselves posting a decent score. Hammered away, but straight to the man down there in the deep. And it is the end of the 7th. It's 44 for 2. It's 4 from that last over. And there'll be a change of commentary. I will be replaced by KG. Thank you, Gert.
David, thank you very much. As we hear simply the best in the background. It's one of the best leaving and one of the best coming in. It is KG. It's going to be joining me in a minute or so. Just take you through quickly. The first wicket that fell was Delport, and then Rapulana and then Nipper and Shackleton trying to consolidate this innings for the Tuskers. KG, welcome to DP World Lion, to the DP World Wanderers.
Thank you, Gert. Good to be here at the iconic DP World Wanderers Stadium. Quite an interesting game. Obviously, a bit of contrast in it. I think with the Lions, obviously, as you mentioned earlier, that they are looking to finish at the top of the table, which will build good momentum into the semi-finals. But also, I think for the Tuskers, for individual reasons, it's a very big game for them.
And a big call here. Hamza comes into the attack.
Hendricks, rather.
It's just a single there. I beg your pardon, it is Hendricks. They just threw up Subir Hamza's stats there for a second as I looked up.
Yeah, very
Riza Hendricks just with his off spin, especially with the left hand on strike, maybe just turning the ball away from the right-hander.
Oh, ball razzle.
Steady there from Riza Hendricks. I think it's one of those games that I think the Lions will be looking at, just those secondary options that they can have going into the knockout stages of the tournament.
Oh, that one just punched again, and what a good job thus far. Only the single, and he does play around in the flight as well. He does give them a little bit of air, so will they charge him? This one getting Sapamla trying to work the umpire there, I feel. That was a big call. He heard something, but you could just see the big smile on his face. Oh, there's the charge, a little shimmy. And his nipper just popping it down to long off for the one.
Yeah, steady over here from Riza Hendricks, who is more of a part-time bowler than anything. But I think if you realize, obviously, he's one of the players that will be putting his hand up for that Proteas team going to the World Cup.
Oh, there's some one bounce to the fielder. Just falling away in the shot and nearly popping it up to the extra cover. They just got to be careful here. They don't want to lose a wicket to that part-timer. Again, just using his feet, a little bit of extra air given by Riza Hendricks. Just the single. That's the end of the over. It is 48 without loss after 8 overs, and only 4 runs coming in that over.
Yeah, like you said, but be careful not to lose to a part-time, especially because as a batting team, you always look at that bowler that you're looking to target. And I think with Riza Hendricks coming in is probably one of those bowlers that the Tuskers will be looking to target to get a bit more runs of him. I mean, they're going at only 6 and over at the moment. They know that they need to up the ante a little bit.
Now, Shackleton and Nipper needs to form a partnership here because it's going to be very important for them going forward. And they've noticed that the lack of pace has helped them. As Kaba Peter is coming in, he's been a revelation as well. He's bowled very, very well. His best figures, 4 for 7, came against that game in Cape Town against the Western Province.
Yeah, he has been very well. I mean, on Friday against the Titans, he actually bowled the penultimate over of the game, picked up a wicket. So it's just one of those leg spinner. Often doesn't turn it too much. And it's one of those that you have to be careful if you're trying to play them square off the wicket. You want to go a bit straighter to Peters. As he goes on first against Shackleton.
And he does skid it on to the batters. We see there just not able to time it. And one thing that's been brilliant by the Lions is their angles and the way they've placed their fielders on the outfield this whole season, actually. The ball predominantly finds the men in yellow.
Yeah, they make it very difficult for the opposition to try to score runs of them, where sometimes the only option they leave you with is to try and go for the 6.
Reverse sweep coming and anticipating there. And the line of Potgieter nearly going the wrong way. Derry picked up by Rassie van der Dussen, where he normally stations himself on the fence. But love to see the anticipation because that reverse sweep was coming out. He thought it's going to go a lot finer. Oh, there's that one that just carries on with the arm. And nearly snuck through the gap there.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those you have to be careful. More often than not, don't play for the 10, but try to go a little bit straighter because it's just got that one that skids on a lot and comes to you quicker than anticipated.
That was a tad high, and with that last single, we nearly missed it. It's the 50 that came up for the Tuskers, and that's in the 9th over. Well, loss of 2 wickets. The wickets column, I think they'll be happy with, only losing 2 wickets, but the run rate has dropped down to under 6. They're only 5.8. And Kaba Peter's not going to make it easier for them to pick it up. Another single just down to long on. Great control by the young man at the moment.
And it's admirable also to see a young leg spinner having so much control, because often with leg spin, it's a bit of a difficult skill to control, but then the amount of control that he has shown in the games that he's played this season has been quite pleasing in the eye.
Again, just working around the corner. Tuskers will be happy that this partnership is just getting some momentum, but we mentioned it earlier as well that the Lions have done such a great job. As soon as the momentum shifts in the opposition's favour, they pick up those 1 or 2 wickets. It's 52 for the loss of 2. And we hear the band playing. We just gave you a bit of a moment there to hear the band in the background. Brass is blowing. It is becoming a lovely atmosphere. It is a lovely autumn day here.
Yeah.
At Wanderers. Tuskers taking on the Lions. Oh, slog sweep. Is this going to find the man? No, it's going to find the grass embankment. That's the very first maximum for the day.
Yeah, breaking the shackles here from Kyle Nipper, a much needed boundary. As you said, that it's just been one of those where it's just going for singles all the time, and the Lions has been comfortable, so that 6 will try to make them think a little bit. And like we said a bit earlier, that with Riza Hendricks coming in, he might be the target. Let's see how he responds to that.
Oh, response is nearly snipping through the bat and pad there. Just the one playing in 6 and 5s and 7s at the moment. Just getting the single after the big hit will maybe just get Nipper's innings really going. Just a little shimmy down to the leg side, trying to open up that extra cover region. Is Shackleton, and managed to get the one.
Yeah, I think it's one of those that I think sometimes we're batters in terms of how do you build up your over. You went 6 in the first ball. If you go for 5 singles, that's 11 in the over. That's a very good over from you.
Oh, but it's not going to be that. Carl Nipper has different ideas. It is another maximum, a 6er.
Very good shot there from Carl Nipper, just hanging back there. Riza Hendricks is pitching the ball a little bit short, allowing Carl Nipper to just access that leg side, and a wonderful shot into the crowd for the second maximum of the over.
And the second maximum of the innings. And he's not done yet. He tried to go inside out, and this time around getting a man in yellow. Oh, will he go again? Will he go again? It's been such a great over thus far. Oh, he tried to fire it in by Riza Hendricks. Couldn't get the elevation to get underneath it. And that's a lovely over. That is 14 coming from that over. It's taken the score to 67 for 2. And don't forget, if you're in the stands today, you take a one-handed catch, you could win yourself 20,000 Rand.
Yeah, we're better place to be than at the DPL Wanderers at the moment. Can come watch the game, enjoy the game, and also have a chance of getting that money. Walking away with a bit of money will be nice.
Yeah, a lovely middle of the month pocket that you can fill up. We just saw a fresh pair of gloves for Shackleton and Nipper, and most likely just a bit of a bit of a message coming out as well. The run rate is shot up to 6.7 to the over after 10 overs, 67 for the loss of 2. It's Carl Nipper that looks to take it to the bowlers. Gaba Peters into the attack. Reverse sweep, big appeal. This looked pretty close. Might have been a little bit of bounce, a little bit of height there. Just a concern there. Just practicing that shot once again. It's the second one that Nipper has tried and it's not come off.
Yeah, it's one of those where you look at, just say that after this ball.
Just a single worked into the leg side. And again from Beeren coming in like a house on fire.
I think it's just one of those from Carl Nipper where he needs to rethink about how he's trying to go about this. He's stood still in 2 balls in the previous over and hit 2 maximums into the crowd, but now going for the reverse sweep. It's one of those things where, like, if you can hit it standing still and just hitting it to the leg side with Ngaba Peters turning the ball into him or bowling the straight one, should look to play a normal sweep shot or a normal pull shot into the crowd like he did in the previous over.
I also think it's with Peter. I think the control is what's making them change their minds and making play different shots. So I'm hoping to get him off his line and length. There's the one you were calling for, standing still, and again that pull shot not timed.
Not at all. So one of those, like we said, Peters really rushes the batter. Ball comes onto you quicker than what you anticipated, and with that making it difficult for the batters, especially if they're trying to hit him square of the wicket. And I think it's one of those that you look to hit him straighter, which is something that Coben Bosch did on Friday, where he got a bit of chance, hit him nice and straight because it's tougher to hit him square of the wicket.
It's also one of those things, not a big turner, but it does skid the ball onto you. It does kind of kisses the surface and then rushes you. Reverse sweep coming and it's popped up in the air. This is going to be a chance. Yes, it is. Thank you very, very much. It is wicket time for the Lions.
Yeah, again, we spoke about it earlier in the over as to what the idea is. If you're able to hit the ball standing and hitting it straight, what's the reason for the reverse sweep? Twice he was in a bit of a trouble to hit that, tried to go for the 3rd time, and this time around gets a thick edge on it and an easy catch at the boundary. Unnecessary wicket, you would say.
Next batter in is Keith Dudgeon. High score of 35 that happened also in Cape Town versus Western Province. He does have a very healthy strike rate. He can really smash it. A strike rate of 122. Average not much to speak of, about 17. But now we become into that scenario again where the Tuskers have fell short in the season. Is once a couple of wickets have fallen, they either dig themselves into a hole to get out of it, but the positiveness needs to come out as well. They got nothing to lose. Let's play no fear cricket. They've beaten the Lions once before.
Yeah.
It was rain affected, but still, let's see, we can't go at them. But Carl Nipper, he looked so good. He looked threatening, looked like he's going to take the game deep into that into the innings, and it just kind of threw his wicket away.
Yeah, I think the tough thing, Bob, probably it's when you try to bully your way out of trouble instead of, if the bowling team is bowling well, just get those singles, that loose ball, you go hit for a 6 like they did in the previous over.
Oh, it's a big appeal and it's been given out. Very first ball. Big shimmy across to the offside. That was pitching in middle, hitting middle. It is going to be a devastating walk back for Keith Dudgeon. 2 in 2.
2 in 2 indeed. It's what we spoke about a bit earlier. If you've watched Ngaba Peters bowling in the previous games, you'd see that he's quite a difficult person to try and hit to the leg side. It's one of those. First ball from Keith Dudgeon went for an expensive sweep first up instead of just going nice, hitting him nice down and straight. And I hope it's one of those things that the incoming batters will realize that, hang on, this is a difficult bat bowler to hit square off the wicket. Let's try to play him a bit straighter.
Yeah, it wasn't great cricket by Keith Dudgeon. He went for the big heave-ho, missed it completely, and he was trapped in front. It is 69, the dreaded 69 for the loss of 4 wickets. Zuma coming in, Thando Zuma. Oh, and this is the problem that the Tuskers have. The strike rate's kind of come down from here. He only has a striker of about 89. He's more of a longer format player. Loves taking time at the crease. He does have a bit of time now. Still 9 overs left. As we see Cody Youssef coming into the attack once again. He's going to be bowling to Shackleton. We've just lost 2 partners on the other side in 1 over.
Yeah, I think it's one of those that the Tuskers need to reassess and look at how they want to approach this game and try to take it as deep as possible. They don't want to leave any overs out there, and at the rate that they're going, you would say that they would be bowled out, which is not a nice thing to have in a T20 cricket. So I think what the Tuskers need to take maybe the next 3 or 4 overs, just trying to survive a little bit and then try to take the game as deep as possible.
Oh, Yusuf just getting a little bit carried away, trying to attack the body of Shackleton. He's got 2 men on the fence. It's a deep square and also deep fine leg. And then he's got the 3rd man on the fence, deep point. And then only, if you look in the V, the solitary man out on the fence is a long on for Shackleton. So he's looking to bowl very straight at him. Work to that onside, just the 1. And that's where you got to ask yourself, as the batting team, they did so well only losing the 2 wickets. There's a partnership brewing. Everything started to look a little bit better for the Tuskers. What's the plan from here?
Yeah.
And if you look at those 2 shots, it's almost like there's no real plan, no real score to work to.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that realizing momentum or where the momentum is in the game at the moment. So they had a good partnership.
No, short ball over the head, and it's given as 1, not as wide.
So it's one of those where when they had the momentum with Carl Nipper and Shackleton trying to break away a little bit from the Lions, bit of a loose shot, and then they allowed the Lions to come back once again when they were in a rebuilding phase. So I think it's one of those that you need to realize what phase of the game that you are in at the moment, and if you've got it in your side, just carry on with the momentum to go for it. No need for those loose shots trying to look for more than what you should be getting.
Again, Cody Youssef, just the control not there. It's a 2nd wide in the over, handing them a couple of extra deliveries at the end and also a couple of extra runs. 72 for loss of 4. And it's true what you're saying is maybe just searching for those runs instead of just playing normal cricket, assessing the situation that you're in.
Yeah, I mean, we know how the quality of the Lions. You're not going to bully yourself into the runs against the Lions.
And that is exactly Zuma's game. He's a very solid defensive player. Very young still. Part of that Under-19 World Cup, also a keeper in his own right. He is someone that can work the ball around. I think this will be the last recognized partnership, maybe with Erlang still coming in.
Yeah, I think with Zuma, it's one of those things that the game actually needs a him at the moment that can just calm down a little bit and just go through.
Cody Youssef has been a bit erratic today with a couple of wides in it, but when he's gotten it right, it's very difficult to score off. He's got that extra bit of pace. He comes in, he runs at you at full tilt. And you can just see where the keeper's standing is about 15 to 20 meters back for him, so he does have lovely carry as well.
Does, yeah.
Again, can't pierce that wall of yellow as we come to the end of the 12th over. It is 72 for the loss of 4, and it is Shackleton on 13, and Zuma has just joined him. He's still on 0. Where would you want to finish up after the 20 kg? If you're in this situation now, you're the Tuskers. We saw a bit of a message coming out, and now they've got to reassess the situation again.
Yeah. Look, I think it's a tough. Obviously, at the Wanderers, you know that you need to get as many runs as possible, especially because the Lions will probably be chasing a bonus point a bit later on. But reassessing as to where you are at the moment, you'd want to look and say, oh, it's a hat-trick ball here. We'll just continue with that. It's a hat-trick ball here from Ngaba Peters. He got a wicket in his 5th and his 6th ball in the previous over.
Big hat-trick ball. Oh, and he bowled the wrong one. And for the Tuskers, it was the right man on strike, Shackleton, who's seen a couple of him before. And, bit of a letdown. We kind of were hoping to get a hat-trick going.
Bit of excitement here for the crowd that's building up here at the DP World Wanderers. A few more spectators have come in after church.
Oh, he should have done that the previous delivery. It is Ngaba Peter picking up his 3rd wicket in 4 balls. And Zuma is back in the hut without troubling the scorers whatsoever.
What a way. Can we call that a delayed hat-trick from Ngaba Peters? Just missed it by 1 ball and got it the following ball. But wonderful bowling here from Ngaba Peters. As we said, it's just one of those that you have to actually be more wary of the one hitting as we look at the replay again. Ngaba Peters, this time just going on with the arm. It's one of those that you have to be a bit more wary with the ball hitting the wickets than anything else, because that's what he does. He challenges your wicket and your pad almost every ball that is bowling. He looks to bowl it nice and straight.
And you've mentioned it. Michael Erlang, we'll continue with that now. And Michael Erlang coming in, he's got a strike rate of 105, and he's coming in with half the team of the AET Tuskers back in the hut. So, this is danger signs for the Tuskers, and great signs for the Lions, who must get the score within 16 overs. But he's a natural wicket taker. So difficult to play off the back foot, and with that one just sliding on, Zuma misreading it completely.
Yeah.
And getting his leg stump knocked over. And again, just want to emphasize when he's a natural wicket taker.
Yeah.
Is Peter.
That is what leg spinners are there for, isn't it? To take the wickets, and that's what Ngaba Peters exactly he does. That he's always threatening, he's always in your face type of a. There's a spin bowler that's always in your face.
Peters into Erlang. Oh, again, putting that leg right across his stumps and working it from there. Dangerous, as we've seen a big LBW already.
Yeah, very dangerous indeed. Just playing in front of that pad there. I think once again, it's just one of those things where you like Ngaba Peters. He's probably got the batters shaking here.
Just the one, just back of a length, just riding the bounce. And Shackleton looks pretty comfortable against Peter, but he has faced him a little bit as well. If we look at 2 balls left, or 2 deliveries left in his 3rd over, 3 for 9. He's not only picked up wickets, he's also kept the scores down.
Yeah, I think he should just bowl through, probably just finish off his spell. Should be tough to get the ball out of his hand also.
Oh, misreading it once again. He thought it's a normal leggy, and it's the wrong one. It's going the other way, Mr. Erlang.
You can just see the body language also from Peters that, he's feeling it. He's in the game. He's really enjoying what he's doing at the moment. And his body language is speaking a lot of volumes here.
Oh, again, just giving himself a lot of room. Trying to ride the bounce. And a little bit of high risk cricket there for the ones. But it's another single. It is 76 for the loss of 5 is the AET Tuskers, and the DP World Lions will be very happy with the work that this youngster have done for them so far. His bowling figures thus far. 1 more over to go, and I agree with you. It's going to be very difficult to take the ball out of his hand now.
Rightfully so, isn't it? And just to show that Bjorn Fortuin has actually also changed ends. He was bowling from this side, but looking to change ends on the other side, probably allowing Ngaba Peters to just finish off. And Bjorn Fortuin, although he's a left-arm orthodox, he possesses almost the same threat as Ngaba Peters does, because he's always also looking to hit your wickets. Bowls a lot more arm balls, a lot more balls that just go on straight with the arm. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the Tuskers now are looking to go after him. They have to find somebody that they need to target if they are going to get any impetus on this innings. I would say that they should be targeting to get anything between 130 and 140. It is a low score, but then this is the situation that they're in at the moment.
And it's just the one worked around the corner by Erlang. And for the right-hander, they also got that danger of Bjorn Fortuin, that slider that he bowls actually swings into the right-hander.
Here we go.
It carries on with the arm, but actually comes back a tad as well. So it's a very difficult arm ball to play. And he does put a bit of zip on it as well. Shackleton facing up. A lot slower through the air.
Yeah, Temba.
Temba Bavuma rolling around, stopping that one. It's always very, very busy on the field. He's Temba Bavuma.
You can't keep him out of the game at any time.
A little shimmy down and just worked too long on.
The thing about Bjorn Fortuin also is that he hardly gives anything away. He's so consistent in the way that he bats. It's almost like every time that you face him, you have to think, what can I do to score runs? Either I'm going to go down or open up, and that's exactly what he prides on. He wants you to do those things. He's so consistent, always looking at hitting your stump. So very tough customer to bet against.
Falling away in the shot there a little bit was Erlang.
Go, boys. Stay in
You
it,
would say there was a bit of a loose delivery from Bjorn Fortuin, giving a bit of width, a bit of length, but Erlang not able to capitalize on that.
No.
Just picking out Bavuma again, but it's also a confidence thing because they got half their team back in the dugout, so they want to keep their wicket and play positive cricket. So the confidence for the AET Tuskers, especially with the situation they're in, being relegated. We see the slog sweep coming out, and finally something happening for the AET Tuskers. Still not timed greatly by Erlang, but at least a 4 for him.
It's a result that matters at the end of the day, isn't it? So very good shot there from Erlang, just to be. And as we say bye to Gert in commentary, and David will be joining me.
You guys have had all the fun in my absence. Ngaba Peter on a hat-trick and then misses out, and the next one he doesn't miss out, so great to be back with you. But this game has been a frustrating one for AET Tuskers fans. They just start to get going and then are put under pressure when wickets fall as the band strikes up.
And as you said, Ngaba Peters to continue from the golf cast, and it was going to be difficult to get the ball out of his hand with the way that he's been bowling. Once again threatening those stumps, and Shackleton just managing to work it around to that square leg for a single. Very good bowling here from the leg spinner. Very good control from Peters. He's been really, really up there at the game, and always, almost every ball, he's threatening the stumps. He's threatening to take a wicket. So very good bowling here from Peters.
It's exactly what you want from your leg spinner. If he's going to come in, he's got to offer something in terms of wicket-taking opportunities. Yes, he's going to give you one or two wayward deliveries, but he's got to produce opportunities for your side to take wickets, and he's done it time and time again for this Lions side in the 7 games that he has managed to play in the CSA T20 challenge.
But Peters once again on the stumps, and Erlang just rocks back and hit it down to that deep mid-wicket. I think the Tuskers also have to take opportunity that they have at the moment, having a left and right combination that can upset the bowler quite a bit here. So the more they rotate the strike, the more that they might get into the head of the bowler, because they constantly have to change the line in particular that they're bowling at. Just one tossed outside that off stump, and Shackleton was looking to get a bet, didn't get too much bet on it, and I went down to that deep cover for a single.
And I think crucially, as you mentioned, Michael Erlang has been around South African cricket for a number of years now. He's got to be the one to shepherd young Shackleton here. They're under pressure, they've got to answer some questions from Ngaba Peter, so he's got to be the one to do it.
And once again, straight on from Peter, and Erlang just gets it down to that deep mid-wicket. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's one of those that in a partnership, there always has to be somebody that takes a senior role. And Erlang is that person at the moment that needs to take the senior role and say, guys, we need to try at least bet the 20 overs and we can get a bit of a score that we can look to defend a bit later on.
They're up against it here with Ngabapita on fire.
Wonderful fielding of his own bowling.
Good bit of awareness there from Shackleton to call for the single, seeing the misfield there.
Yeah, and that's the last ball from Ngabapita. I'll be looking to finish off.
He's got one more, just one more in the over.
Be looking to finish off well here, and Ngabapita has bowled very good spell so far, picking up the 3 wickets.
5 singles in the over. He's just kept them quiet, doesn't let them free their arms at all.
Oof, and once again, and there's Pets and Erlang just hits it straight back at him. Wonderful bowling here from Ngabapita, finishing with a spell of 4 overs, 3 for 15. Very good bowling here from Ngabapita. Those 3 wickets coming in 4 balls.
Great outing there for the young leg spinner. Exciting stuff for South African cricket when you've got somebody like him who's able to offer up the slider, the wrong end, the traditional leg break delivery. Just fills you with confidence as a skipper to go after sides and really break things down.
And the control that he has, that's very important for a leg spinner, having those variations but also having the control that you have. Very tough to hit. We've noticed in the last few games that he's played, he's a very tough customer to hit, especially if you're looking to hit it square of the wicket. So he's a very good prospect for South African cricket at the moment.
Absolutely. Cody Yusuf will now begin from the call-it drive end. Just having a look at his field. He's got fine leg out, deep square and a cow corner. So only mid-on in the ring on the onside.
Cody Yusuf. Shot one down to that deep square leg, and it just manages to clear the boundary. Good shot here from Shackleton to get a much needed boundary from the bowling of Cody Yusuf.
He's dropped short there, has Yusuf. First ball, he really wanted to rush Cam Shackleton. But as you see here, just helps it on its way. Good use of the pace of the ball. And thumped away to the onside for 6.
Yeah, Cody Yusuf has been quite inconsistent in the lines and the lanes that he's bowled. It's like he's still trying to find something or to look for something. And that time around, Shackleton says, thank you very much for that erratic bowling that we've seen a little bit here from Cody Yusuf, and deposited over the square leg for a 6. Yusuf to Shackleton. This time around a bit straight and a thick outside edge with Shackleton was looking to go down to the leg side, but gets a thick outside edge down to that third man for a single.
Really looked uncomfortable with that one, did Shackleton. He's just shaking his hand at the other end. Squared him up, did Cody Yusuf, and a brilliant reply from the fast bowler. Doing exactly what his captain would want when you've been hit for 6. You've got to answer, and answer well.
I wonder though if the Tuskers will be looking and say that where we are, we got a 6 and a 1 in the first. Can we just go for the singles to end off the over? That is not the way that they're looking at it, as the Erlang that time around looking to have a big weave and just having a big inside edge for another single. Like I said, it's one of those things from the Tuskers at the moment whereby you can either look to just be erratic out there and just swing your bat all over the place and be bowled out before 20 overs, or to say that, especially in such an over where you've got a 6 on the first ball, to say that let's go 1-1-1. If you get 11 from the over, it's a good return.
Absolutely, they'll be certainly pleased with that one, but they have not done it.
And this time around, it just backs away Shackleton and that vacant third man, and gets a big top edge over it for another boundary. Very good over so far from the Tuskers.
It's intelligent cricket here from the youngster. He knew third man was up in the ring. The short ball gives himself room, and it's an uppercut over the third man in the ring. A couple of bounces, and a boundary 4. So now this Cody Yusuf over has yielded 12, and there's still 2 more to come in the over. What question will he ask of Shackleton, who's on a run a ball 30 at the moment?
And this time around, just accesses that offside, gives himself a little bit of room, and a full ball from Cody Yusuf gets hit to that vacant deep cover for another boundary, the 3rd boundary of the over. Very good batting here from Shackleton, realizing that Cody Yusuf has been a bit inconsistent and putting him under pressure. As we take a look at that again, Shackleton just cleared that front foot and opened up that offside for another boundary.
Knew exactly where he wanted to hit that one, did Cam Shackleton. Now Yusuf having a long conversation with his captain. Try to remedy the situation. It's an expensive over. And at this point, Cody Yusuf is just shy of going at 10 to the over.
And once again, Shackleton comes down, hits it over that extra cover for a huge 6. That is a very good batting from Shackleton here, realizing that this is the man that we need to go after, and that over going for 22 runs. And with that, Cameron Shackleton just gets his best of 35. And just before this ball, there was actually 100 up for Tuskers. As we look at that again, Shackleton coming down, opening the face of the bat and hitting it over that extra cover for a 6. Very good over here for the Tuskers. They're feeling better about themselves here.
Confident hitting from Cameron Shackleton, just coming down the wicket, inside out over extra cover. And that one reminiscent of a shot that every captain and coach will be happy with. After being put into bat, the Tuskers are 109 for 5 at the end of the 16th. So the final 4 overs here, and Fortain has decided he will put himself on to bowl, making use of their spinners today. Just Sipamla, Yusuf and Potgieter with the seam bowling options this afternoon rather, and haven't been utilized to the full extent. Just Ngaba Peter completing his quota for today.
Yeah, Bjorn Fortuin will be bowling to the longer side of the boundary. Fortuin. And just coming down the wicket there. Wonderful fielding here from Ngaba Peter. After that wonderful spell, he saved some runs there at the boundary. Very good fielding, coming down, one-handed, right-handed, and just diving, getting that ball, preventing the runs, and just saving 2 runs from that.
Brilliant game. It was a wayward delivery from Fortuin. Was turned into a full toss. Even then, if he'd stood still, it would have been 1. But boy, oh boy, was that a great effort from
and this time around, Lank tries to come down the wicket once again, misses it. And Bjorn Fortuin, as we said, is that kind of a bowler that always attacks the stumps. And this time around, gets the off stump out of the crease. Very good bowling here from Bjorn Fortuin. Just a bit of a... He's just that consistent type of a bowler, isn't he? Every time, if you miss, he hits, and that's exactly what he did that time around.
Nelson, once again, the undoing of a cricketer, just straight through the gate. Erlang trying to keep up with his partner at the other end and not able to do so. He's gone. The skipper dismissed, and that brings Kirtland Manikam to the wicket. 111 for 6. And again, the Tuskers are at risk of not being able to complete their allotted 20 overs today.
Yeah, and that, I mean, with that wicket, it brings a bit of pressure to Shackleton on the other side, because then he feels that, you know, he's losing wicket on the other side. He's trying to score the runs, but then he's now starting to bat with the tail, and he needs to take the game deep here. So very good bowling here from the DP World Lions, exerting a bit of pressure for the Tuskers, and it's Fortuin to Manikam. First up to the wickets. Blocks it out. Manikam was looking for a single there, but that was hit straight to Peter at point.
Shackleton not interested in that one. Happy to sit on the other end. Didn't want to go after Fortuin.
Once again to the pads, and it's given out. It's given out. LBW from Brett White that time around was very quick to make that decision. Manicam looks like he's a bit of a discomfort here, the way that he's walking off.
Yeah, maybe smashed him on the toe there. Really looked uncomfortable in that shot. And another wicket for Fortuin. And Nelson is really running right here. Just having a look at this one again. Fortuin wide of the crease, traps him in front. And as you said, Brad White not interested in wasting time. So that is the end of Manicam. He's gone for a silver duck, as the kids would call it. And that means that the Tuskers are now slumping to 1 for 7.
So that's Mangaliso Ntlebela coming to bat here. Just wonder now the frustration that's going on Shackleton on the other end, not getting the strike that he is looking for, and he's got a bit of momentum on his side, creating a bit of a pressure on him. I'm sure he's just saying to his partners that can somebody just stick with me here.
Stick with me through the last couple of overs here, the last 3.2, and I can get myself and the team to a good score.
And that time around, Smangaliso Ntlebela gets a bit of width and hits it down to that long off for a single.
Finally, they're off Nelson.
Finally, they're off Nelson. And finally, Shackleton is also on strike, but with just one ball to go in the over. I'm sure he'll be looking to get a single to get on the other side.
Surprisingly, the Lions not deciding that they want to bring men into the ring to prevent that single. Maybe confident in their ability to put pressure on Shackleton at the other end.
And so that Shackleton just hits it to that vacant mid-wicket area for a single. I think it's the way that the Lions are at the moment, is that they don't actually mind to bowl into anyone. They've restricted the Tuskers to the squad that they, after 17 overs, they're only 1-1-3. So they'll be saying that if he gets a single and go to the other side, so be it. Because they, on the other side, they can employ the same tactics where they open it up and they get the single the first ball of the over.
Lutus Apamla will return from the call it drive in. Just having a look at those figures for today. Potgieter, Sipamla, Fortuin, Hendricks and Ngaba Peter in among the wickets. But it's been all the spinners today. Not a bad outing thus far for Lutus Apamla. 1 for 14 in his 2. He could be pleased with his time with ball in hand.
No, definitely. I think he's one of those players that hasn't played a lot also this season with a lot of with an injury that took him out in the beginning of the season, so he'll be feeling good coming back now. 7 wickets down, feel that there's an opportunity for him to get some wickets and clean up the tail. But wayward there from Lutus Apamla, first up, down the leg side too much, and it's a wide ball.
And at the end of the innings, we'll just give you a wrap of where the scores are and what it means for the CSA T20 challenge. See where it leaves everybody. The Lions need a bonus point win for them to remain top of the log here, but they are assured of a home semi-final. It's just those other teams that are not yet confirmed. What a ball.
What a ball here from Lutus Apamla. Bowling a nice yorker, going past that leg stump. That is one of those balls every time when we watch cricket and we say, why are fast bowlers not bowling those balls enough? Because those are very difficult. It's a very difficult skill, I must say, to be consistent in. But, you know, when you get it right, it's really, really hard for the batters to hit.
Very few in-world cricket are able to execute it and execute consistently as well. No one in on the leg side, rather.
That's the one, a bit of a fool there. Shackleton just came down and hit it to that mid-off for a single. I think the Lions won't be too disappointed with that second ball of the over, and you get your tailender on strike.
Now Ntlebela's got a lot of work on his hands. Long on comes into the ring, persisting with those men out on the onside, knowing it's the longer boundary.
Yeah. This is where then Apamla probably should be looking to bowl a bit wider. And it just goes straight to the stumps once again. Ntlebela hits it down to that cow corner for a single.
Turns Shackleton on strike. His highest CSA T20 score this afternoon. He's unbeaten on 42, and I think for his own confidence he'll be happy if he can get a milestone. We spoke about it when he did walk into bat, that this could be an important innings for Cam Shackleton if he's looking to find a space next season elsewhere in Division 1.
Lutus Pamla goes for the Yorker, misses his length, and Shackleton just hits it straight to that long on for another catch. Very, very, very disappointment there from Shackleton. Had the opportunity to hit that ball absolutely anywhere, but hit it down in the throat of the long on that time around. Lutus Pamla will be feeling very lucky for getting that wicket as we look at the replay again.
Yeah, commentators curse the undoing of Cam Shackleton. Cam, when you listen to this again, I'm sorry. Just an easy delivery for him. As you said, could have hit it anywhere, but he's hit it straight down the throat. And that'll bring Thando Ntini to the wicket with 2 tailenders to bowl at. Lutus Pamla will be licking his lips at the prospect of picking up more wickets. Just having a look at that scorecard, it was Rapulana, Nipper and Shackleton who have contributed, small contribution, or start rather, from Adelang, but other than that it's been a veritable procession, almost a carbon copy of the game against the Hollywood Bets Dolphins.
I think Lutus Pamla will be looking and say he has an opportunity for a hat-trick here. 2 balls to go with 2 wickets and a tail-ender to bowl at.
Left-handed Thando Ntini.
Left-handed batter in a right-hand bowler.
Long conversation here with Fortuin about field placements. They're going to bring fine leg up in the ring, and third man will be dropped back. So, as expected with the angle, as you mentioned, the right-handed bowler to a left-handed batter.
Yeah.
He's just going to go across him here.
I must say, Thando Ntini can actually hold the bat a little bit. It's not too bad. Growing up, he was actually quite a top-order batsman in provincial cricket. Just blocks it out and goes for a quick single. Goes to the other side for a single.
He's got to watch out there. He nearly took out the umpire, Umpire Sudumo. And he was determined there was Thando Ntini. He didn't want to spend much time facing Lutus Pamla. Just immediately dropped it and ran.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of those, like, again, like you say, with 2 overs to go after this, to say, let's try and bet the whole 20 overs. Who knows? Get 135, who knows? Could create a bit of pressure. Especially, you know, the Lions are going to come guns blazing, looking to get that bonus point win.
Which comes with an element of risk.
And this time around, Klebela just gives himself a bit of room to access that offside and hits it to Themba Bavuma. And for a single, at the end of the 18th over, the Tuskers are 118 for 8.
It was an over that had everything in it, an extra wicket and some singles. So Lutus Pamla, 2 for 19 from his 3. You are in no doubt, I'm sure, that he will continue and wrap up his time with ball in hand. But somebody that we thought might play no further part in this game, Cody Youssef, has been asked to switch ends. 3 for 35, and he's gone wicket. 3 overs rather for 35. He's gone wicketless in the game.
Yeah, I do suppose that with the match situation the way that it is, you can afford to bring Cody Youssef to come in and bowl, because it would do him a lot of justice and a lot of confidence if he can come and get quick wickets here bowling at the tail. I say that just Ntlebela once again hits it down to that long on for a single. So I think Cody Youssef would look at this as an opportunity to say that I haven't had the best of games so far, but I am bowling to the tail that hasn't scored so many. The team hasn't scored so many runs. They might be looking to swing, and that's where I'll get my chances to get the wickets.
It's that faith in Cody Youssef that needs to be rewarded now. He's got to make sure he's hitting his lines and lengths. He's decided he's going to come around to the left-handed Thando Ntini, and missing out with the Yorker with that last delivery, a low full toss, and everybody on the leg side out. everybody on the offside is in, barring deep point. Comes round to Ntini.
Ooh, nice Yorker there from Cody Youssef. Just Tandon that time around, just looking to give himself a bit of room, but Cody Youssef followed him with that Yorker. Very good bowling from Cody Youssef.
You know exactly where he was going to go, did Youssef. Brilliant execution there. Ntini trying to go to the leg side to give himself that space, as you said, to hit through the offside with everybody in the ring barring deep point. That's where he's got to look to attack. But Cody Youssef fully aware.
And this time around, Tandon gets some good bat on it and access that vacant long off and hits it down for a boundary. Very good batting here from Tandon.
He's absolutely bludgeoned that, hasn't he? He nearly took off Cody Youssef's head in the return fire. Youssef missing out. A full toss, wide of the crease, low full toss, and Ntini said, "Have it, I don't want it."
And that brings about a fielding change with the mid off coming down to long off and the fine leg coming into the ring. This time around a bit of a slower ball there from Cody Youssef, and Tandon gets back to it, to that open space in the cover areas for a single.
The maturity that he's showing with bat in hand here, you've got to ask the question why Tandon is coming down at number 10. Just as he's come to the wicket, he's not played like a traditional number 10 who wants to stay for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
Very, very measured in his approach. Over the wicket now to Ntlabela.
And Ntlabela gets a big swing at it and doesn't get as much bat as he would hope to, hitting it down to that long on for a single.
That's what I expect from a tail ender. Just throw the kitchen sink, the old heave ho.
It is kind of boring when tail enders come in and they look to play like a batsman.
Sensible cricket. What is this?
You want to see the traditional tail enders coming in
clear
there.
the front foot and hammer it as hard as you can. If you miss, so be it.
So Yusuf Tuntini, last ball. Ooh, and this time around, again Ntini looking to give himself a bit of room, and Yusuf following him with a bit of a short ball there.
Some feisty stuff, but as you see, just a punch of gloves as they pass one another. Final over is upon us, 126 for 8. And you mentioned that your ideal score, if you were a Tusker, would be that 130, 140, and batting first here at the Wanderers averages out to 163, so not quite where they would have liked to have been, but this partnership has proved vital for them in getting to 130, 140. Last over here will be bowled by Luto Sipamla.
Yeah, I think very importantly from the Tuskers is that if they are going to threaten the Lions a little bit, we talked about, you're saying that 163 is obviously the average score here. But I do think between 135, 140 type of a thing, because why we say that is because the Lions are definitely going to come in guns blazing. They're definitely going to look to get the score in 16 overs. And you know, once they do that, you've got an opportunity to get wickets because they're trying to come hard at you.
Trying to force things to get to that bonus point.
Once again, from Tandon just clears that front foot and access that long off, that vacant long off for another boundary. Very good batting here from Tandon.
Lovely stroke, a despairing dive there, but it's just the length that you've got to ask the question about. Luto Sipamla, he's throwing it up there for Ntini. He knows exactly what he's going to do. Just bludgeoned away. As you saw, the despairing dive there from Fortuin prompts field change, and I wonder if it's after the horses already bolted that they're making these changes, or they know exactly what needs to be executed but not able to get it done.
This time around, Tandon just gets a bit of a length ball, hits it down to that long on. It's very interesting sometimes, and I just ask myself, at the death, you're looking to bowl a lot more Yorkers when you miss the length, it's going to be probably that low full toss. That means that you need to have the protection at your long on and long off. But then you see them bringing the men in and playing a bit of a reactive cricket type of a thing.
Absolutely. You've got to be aware of the game situation and how you're going to respond to it. Especially as a captain, you've got to almost think 3 or 4 moves in advance. If he does this, then I'll go with that. Or I'm going to do this in preparation for.
And this Mangaliso Ntlebela comes down the wicket, tries to get a big one, but just gets a thick inside edge onto his pad, and they manage to come for a single.
Keeping the fielders busy here with the left-right changes. 6 from the over. 132 for 8 with 3 balls remaining in the over. Ndini on 12 and Ntlebela on 6. And crucially for the Tuskers, Ndini is on strike. He's been the one who's really come to the wicket and thought, I'm going to have some fun here.
Yep. And once again, he clears that front foot and doesn't get bat on it that time around. With Thando Ntini, I think he's done well hitting it down to that middle. But now, because there's somebody put out there, which is something that we said a bit earlier on, that you create that pressure and put it somewhere out there, he's now looking to take the ball outside the off stump onto the leg side, which is the pressure that's created by simply having players in the right positions.
Better execution this time from Luto Sipamla. Just shows how fine the margins are when you're trying to bowl those block hole deliveries. 2 left.
Pamla once again, and Thando Ntini looking to access. Ntlebela trying to steal a run that time around, but keeper just throws it back to Pamla. And Ntini was not interested for any second. He wasn't even looking at Ntlebela on the other side. Was now run out.
Almost comical there. Sipamla with the cutter delivery. As you said, not even looking, and then as he turned back, Ntlebela was right in his pocket. And Ntlebela just kept running towards the change room. He's been run out. He's gone for 6 from his 6 deliveries. The Tuskers 9 down now for 132. And that brings Mondli Khumalo to the wicket. Thamsanqa Khumalo left out in this game after opening the batting against the Hollywood Bets Dolphins. But it's Mondli now who's got to do something with bat in hand. He's not even put his gloves on because he knows that it's only 1 delivery.
He's just there to run and run fast. I think this time around, if Thando Ntini misses it, he must just run on the other side. Just get that bonus run, so to call it. Sipamla to Ntini. And this time around, once again, Thando Ntini was looking to go over that mid-wicket area and he misses it. And very good bowling here from Luto Sipamla in the last over, just going for 6 runs and picking up that wicket of a run out of Ntlebela. And that's the end of the innings for the Tuskers. They end on 132 for 9.
Yeah, the Lions, after winning the toss, put the Tuskers, AET Tuskers, into bat. Kagiso Rapolana and Cameron Delport got them off to a start, but it was Sipamla and Potgieter who managed to pick up the opening pair. Ngawa Peter was introduced after Nipper and Shackleton put together a wonderful partnership, and he proved the undoing of Nipper and then Dudgeon for a first ball leg for wicket. And then his next over produced the second ball of his next over was the wicket of Ntando Zuma. Erlang was gone, bowled by Fortuin. Sipamla in the mix, as well as Cameron Shackleton was caught by Cody Youssef off the bowling of Luto Sipamla. Fortuin in the mix again, getting Manikam for a duck. And then Ntlebela was run out after comically looking for a single with his partner at the other end. Ntini's not out of 12 and Khumalo did not face the ball. 8 extras, 132 for 9. This could be a game in which the Tuskers may yet find the double over the DP World Lions, having won earlier in the season. Potgieter with the wicket, Sipamla with 2, Fortuin with 2, Hendricks wicketless, and that man Ngawayomzi Peter who's had a cracker of a season, having been introduced in the CSA T20 competition in his 8th game with 3 more wickets. So don't forget that we will be with you shortly once the game gets underway after the innings break. Don't go anywhere, and we will give you some highlights, or rather not highlights, just updates of where the games are across the country. This game starting half an hour earlier than the others, and so just a reminder of where the season is for these sides. The Lions have already booked their place in a home semi-final, but will it be the Warriors or the Dolphins rather, who will end up in second place if the Lions don't get the bonus point here? Warriors 85 for 4, in some serious trouble, but they've got Jordan Herman at the wicket with Sintemba Kashile. The chief destroyer there is Darren de Pavillon, the experienced seamer. In the other game of note is the Province Titans game, in which Western Province 81 for 3. That's the fight for the 4th position in semi-finals, KG, and the Province 81 for 3 with Carl Verena on 45 from 27. He's going to be crucial with George Linder for Western Province, and it's going to be a crucial day for the Sky Blues if they're going to get that final semi-final position. And in the Rocks Dragons game, the Rocks are 99 for 4 with 2 wickets to Salega and 1 for Ngengle and Mangru. So we'll be back with you after the innings break, and as you can see, 132 for 9 is where the AET Tuskers ended up. DP World Lions need 133 for victory, and they'll want that bonus point to guarantee top spot.
Divide by 1.2. Bonus point 110. I don't know what's doing powerplay. Let's have a line. So, sarada ko na ikuli neka. Ito sarang manaw ano. Ito manaw. Ito sarang manaw. Sabah.
Ojo, ojo. Ay.
Kosong tanda.
Ojo balik silo. Ane. Ane.
Hey, go man. Aw, go man. Awufuna ukuqeda yini?
Hayi ophuma ngani?
Oh. Akaze ngibona umuntu erola. Asuke la. Ashonele.
Welcome back to DP World Wanderers, where it is a top and bottom scenario. It is the top of the lock, Lions taking on the AET Tuskers, the recently relegated AET Tuskers. They won the toss and elected to bowl the Lions here at their home ground. They're playing for that bonus point. The AET Tuskers made a bit of a meal of it in their innings, only scoring 132 runs in their allotted 20 overs. Myself, Gert Bloney, going to bring you all the action from the second part of the Lions innings, and with me, the very formidable David Mitchell.
Good to be back with you, Gert. It's been a game that both sides have very different understandings, as Ntini and Dudgeon give each other a long lingering hug there. Much love in the AET Tusker sides. The Lions vying for top spots to be their own, to cement it. The Tuskers with nothing to lose and everything to gain in bragging rights against the home side, the DP World Lions. Keith Dudgeon blew away the Lions top order in the last game that these two sides played. He's got a ball in hand and he's got a slip in place. And you'll just remember that the Lions need a bonus point in order to remain top of the log. And all of that has an impact on who plays where in the semi-final games. Just a reminder, at the end of the over, we'll give you an update of where everybody is in their games and also the ramifications for the log standings.
It's Dudgeon into Zubair Hamza, and a nice solid start. That bonus point that you mentioned, David, they got to get the score within 16 overs to get the bonus point, which they will back themselves. I mean, the required rate over 20 is only 6.7. A good power play here might just put the Lions on the front foot.
Zubair Hamza getting 41 from 28 in his last outing a week ago here, in which they won by 10 wickets against the Dragons.
Oh, lovely bounce, lovely bounce. We saw him warming up and the break, and it just looks like Keith Dudgeon is really going to run in hard and hit the deck.
He's got a lot to prove to himself. Well, he'll maybe feel like he's got a lot to prove to himself. He did very well here in that rain-affected game, did Keith Dudgeon. Grew up playing here in the Johannesburg area, Parktown boys, old boy.
Oh, giving yourself a bit of room, trying to exploit that open offside, and just sneaking past the edge of the bat.
Also spent some time here for the Lions, did Keith Dudgeon, before moving on. And as you said, he's ready to give it his all. He's not going to hold back here. He's going to bend his back. He knows Tuskers are relegated. However, he could find himself getting a contract elsewhere if he so chooses, with the performances that he's put together this season.
3 dots in a row. Fantastic bowling. No real pressure on the Lions. They just need to time this run chase to perfection. We mentioned again that it's got to be around about that within 16 overs. They got to get the 133 required. And they got a slip in place, does the Tuskers. A lot more attacking field than we saw from the Lions.
Absolutely, with Erlang maybe feeling like if they could snuff 1 or 2 out here, they might be in the game.
And another wild waft, and everyone just the oohs and the ahs, and the band not producing the goods at the moment for Hamza.
Not being in his favour at all. A man who came from Western Province to the Lions, and as I said earlier, it's been a good move, arguably, for him. And he'll certainly get a different energy in terms of playing time. Will Zubair Hamza, is a lot of pressure in this side, a lot of depth. Can only elevate a player.
Oh, and this time just dropping short from that man in the circle. And it is 4 runs and a streaky way to get yourself on the go and on the board.
Yeah, it's a drop chance. Jonty Rapulana, as he's known, Kagiso Rapulana, normally very good with his hands. Streaky way to get off the mark. I wonder if it did drop short. It looked like maybe it had gone through the hands as it did get to Kagiso Rapulana. But nevertheless, Hamza is off the mark and so are the lines. End of one, it's 4 without loss.
A lucky way to get off the mark there. And oh, that nearly could have put them just under pressure a tad without any runs on the board if that one went to hand. We see Ntando Ntini coming in. His best performance is only 2 for 21. In total, only taking 24 wickets.
Yeah, still finding his way in domestic cricket. I suppose not helped by the fact that he is now part of a side that is being relegated and has really struggled over the course of the season across the formats. Such a stark contrast from that opening game, as we mentioned, at the Maritzburg Oval. Difficult going for the DP World Lions, but it was all Tuskers that day. They really did feel confident and their tails up, having beaten the defending champions in the opening game. Comprehensive win there for them. But he's got to go to Riza Hendricks now.
Oh, and there's a bit of movement and immediately a quick response from the non-striker, just getting the leg by. And it's 1 run to the total. And yeah, it's a contrast to where they were and where they started. And we mentioned it earlier, the confidence. If you look at where they started those first couple of games and where the confidence for the team scenario is now, it's almost non-existent.
Just so frustrating, I guess, for Tuskers fans. They've just desperately wanted their side to do well, but it's never easy when a side is promoted to stay up.
Oh, what a shot. Lovely in swing. And just deft touch down the ground. And it is for sublime timing by Zubair Hamza.
Yeah, a bit of swing there, and Tlabela couldn't do enough to try and cut that one off. He really gave it his all, but it was sublime timing here. Overpitched from Ntando Ntini. And Hamza just with the check drive there. Show him the maker's name, son.
It was literally more of a defensive shot than almost a check drive. Great timing. He must have a great piece of wood in his hand there.
I'm sure his sponsors will be very happy. And Dini now having to
motivate Lebela there. Oh, he gets a lot of movement in the air. We haven't seen that even from the Lion bowlers.
It was a great delivery there. Much better length from Ntando Ntini, causing some discomfort in decision making there from Zubair Hamza. But he's seen it all, has Zubair Hamza, having made his debut here against Pakistan in Test cricket. Cap number 100 for the South African Test side, but nevertheless, he's got a job to do here.
Oh, wide, short. Lucky to get away with that one, I feel. Just maybe trying the ball that's just straightening up on the right hand instead of that excessive movement in.
Getting in the mind of Zubair Hamza is almost indecisive with that stroke. His flat feet. Let's have a look at this one again. Just coming away from the stumps, not as tight as you would expect for somebody coming right arm over.
He is all arms and legs when he goes through that action, is Ntini. Again, back to the stock standard delivery of the ball swinging into the right-hander. He does become a menace when he bowls to left-handers because that ball goes across very quickly and does entice the drive from the left-handers.
Can be a tricky customer to deal with. But he's got two right-handers at the crease, so he's got to make the most of it. Just deep point and deep square leg out of the ring. Still power play, as you would know. So some pressure here.
Oh, and a big hoik. Not really sure where Hamza was aiming there.
Yeah, he just needed to play that one through the offside square drive and he would have been happy. So at the end of 2, it's 9 without loss, and why I mentioned 10 is the DLS par before that last delivery was 10. Just didn't quite time it, did Zubair Hamza. No real footwork. He's just stepped towards it and been
Hope for the
all
best.
at sea, yes.
That was a very, very strange shot by Zubair Hamza after he played that brilliant sort of forward defensive check push forward for 4. Timing looked like it was coming back, and all of a sudden he had that one. But it might be the pressure that you're talking about. Is 2 overs gone in the power play. They're only going at about 4.5.
We did promise you scores from around the country. Western Province 95 for 8. It's really not going in their favour. Just shy of the 18th over.
Another one just drop and go by Hendricks.
Fighting 48 from Calvarena, not seeming enough here. And it looks like the Titans, if they're able to clean up the last 2 wickets, could be on course for a semi-final position. The Western Province side will need all the tricks in the bag with the ball in hand to try and get that. And the Warriors 129 for 5 at the start of the 20th over. It's been Jordan Herman's show to try and keep his side in the hunt for that first place.
Oh, this one just dropped to backward point, and a great fielding there. Making sure Rapulana there that stays down to 0 actually. He stopped all the runs there.
He's just trying to make up for that earlier incident where it went through his hands. Great bit of support, and that's the importance of having your fielder support you as a bowler. Just makes a difference in your confidence and your ability to string a couple of dot balls together.
Oh, and another one, just opening up that front leg and trying with that front leg open, trying to hit it over extra cover. And how did that miss the stumps?
Just a kitten's whisker away from his off stump. Hamza really looks uncomfortable as a shake of the head from him. Have a look at this delivery again. Hamza batting on leg stump, or arguably outside leg stump. He moves further away, and boy oh boy, that could have tickled and proved his undoing.
Lifting his head there as well, just trying to hit the ball, almost the white leather off the ball. Oh, this time a swath down to mid-wicket. This might look it's going to go to the fence. Yes, it does. Not a great timing, but 14 at the moment.
Just swatted away there by Zubair Hamza. Too short from Keith Dudgeon. A little bit of a gift. And he wasn't going to miss out on that one. Zubair Hamza flapped at that one. And Cameron Shackleton put the skates on to try and cut it off. But it's just out of your frame and not able to snuff out that shot. Dudgeon's got to answer a question now.
Oh, and how he does that. Another absolute beauty. What a pearler that was.
Yeah, Keith Dudgeon, what a brilliant delivery. Gorgeous. And the precise answer to the question that was asked there. Zubair Hamza really being worked over here. You almost sense there's something coming. Squared him up, he had no answer for that one.
That was pitching middle and missing off, and very fittingly the song Gasolina playing there in the background. There's a bit of gas on that one. Oh, this time around, much better shape and movement by Zubair Hamza. That looked a lot better. And it's another fantastic over by Keith Dudgeon, and this looks like that 16 overs is a long way away. It's 14 without loss with Hamza and Hendricks, and this is something that's a discussion point for a lot of coaches. Do you now give Keith Dudgeon another over?
Yeah, we were chatting before we came back on air as to how they would utilize Keith Dudgeon. I suspect they might give him another one. He's just doing so much with the ball and almost too much to get the intended outcome. And Riza Hendricks will now have to face up to Thando Ntini. We know that Riza Hendricks, having struggled in times gone by with that in-swinging delivery, leaving the gap between bat and pad, in-swinging delivery from Ntini could prove his undoing here.
Oh, a drop and go. Riza Hendricks very happy just to rotate strikes. I think it's one of those scenarios where they had a chat and Hamza says, listen, I'm seeing it like a soccer ball. Give me a go at it.
Maybe Zubair Hamza saying to him, put me on strike against Thando. I feel a little bit more at ease against Thando Ntini. But by no means is it going to be a walk in the park. As we said, these Tuskers players have nothing to lose and will give their everything here to try and uproot the home side.
Oh, this time short and wide, but that deep point coming into play. Cutting off to one again. Zubair Hamza not timing that one.
He didn't look all that confident in his stroke there. Cam Shackleton showing his arm as well, young wicketkeeper, showing how he is versatile. But to come back to that, I think it's going to take some rotation of strike from these two to get them going. I think once they do get going, they can be very damaging to your figures. But in the meantime, they've just got to feel bat on ball and get to the other end.
No, just like that one, popping it over, one bounce for, and finally, Riza Hendricks gets going.
Confident stroke there by the opener. Just needed that one to go his way. He just chips it over mid-on, and a one bounce for Riza Hendricks. As you said, now in the mix. Lovely stroke here, just over-pitched from Ntini.
Again, just getting carried away with that swing, trying to let the ball do too much, and in the arc, in the park for Riza Hendricks. 113 required from 99 deliveries. That is if they go the full 20, but they want to finish this off around about the 15th over. Riza Hendricks whacking that one. The man at deep square was about 5 meters away, and he's just picking up the ball.
Yeah, incredible stroke there from Riza Hendricks, one-handed, and he's just whacked that away. As you said, Keith Dudgeon down there in the deep didn't really know too much about that delivery because it was hit so hard. And flamboyance and flair there from the experienced opener. What a stroke.
Oh, timing.
10 from the over, and there's still 2 balls left.
Another one of those interesting shots. It almost looks like he was aiming to flat bat it in our direction, Dave.
We were at risk here, Gert, but not quite getting the pace off the wicket for a duplication of that one there. 11 from the over. Thando Ntini's certainly been a victim here of these two wanting to move things along quite quickly with those back-to-back boundaries from Riza Hendricks.
One more delivery to go, and here's a second over for Ntini. Oh, Zubair Hamza going across, and it's a fourfer. It is one bounce for Ntini, just showing that he's had enough. He has spoilt his figures with that over. It's 3 fours and 3 singles. Oh, what an over that was for the Lions.
Well, they needed to move things along if they were going to keep pace with the bonus point trajectory. It's a short one from Ntini, trying to make recompense for the previous one. Just goes across, does Zubair Hamza, and pulls it with great power and prowess. One bounce for, and Ntini just tries to wipe away any tears there that may be on the inside with that last over. So Dudgeon will continue. He's going to bowl his third now. He's gone wicketless thus far, but 9 runs has kept these two very quiet. Primarily that of Zubair Hamza, who didn't really have too many answers. He's going to Riza Hendricks now.
Oh, and there's the outside edge. And well-deserved Keith Dudgeon. A lovely delivery again, pitching on middle and leg and just swinging away from the right-hander. Nick found great catch.
Great delivery there from Keith Dudgeon. Reza Hendricks didn't know too much about that one. A lovely catch as well. It's not often that you see sides persisting with the slip. Comes at such an angle, does Keith Dudgeon. Squared him up, and all that Reza Hendricks could do was just get bat on ball. Erlang takes the catch, and the Lions are 1 down for 29.
It is a fantastic delivery. As we see Themba Bavuma coming to the crease in his 129th match.
Yeah, Themba Bavuma this season for the Lions has struggled to find some consistent form, and I think it's something that he'll want to make sure that he improves upon, especially since there is a T20 World Cup coming up later this year. Just having a look at his batting figures, averaging 27 and a strike rate of 123.79, his best season in that 2018-2019 season where he got 100 against the Warriors here.
Facing Keith Dudgeon, nearly played on. Just looked like that was the one that just carries on with the angle and not swinging away.
Pressure on Bavuma here, and Rapolana, his former teammates, reminding him of that. 2 slips in place, and I don't think those will be soft words from Kagiso Rapolana.
David, it's how's things at home? How's your sister? How's the family? Normal cricketing stuff. Cricketers are the nicest, friendliest people. Always worried about your family. Oh, this time round playing away from his body. Keith Dudgeon must be thinking, what do I need? I've gotten one guy to nick a ball. How many other deliveries do I have to bowl to get someone to actually be good enough to play the ball?
Yeah, he's having a wonderful day out here at the DP World Wonder is Keith Dudgeon. Seems to be a happy hunting ground for him this season's T20. Look at that one. Themba Bavuma playing down the wrong line completely. And Dudgeon has just got his name and his number and his email address. 2 slips in place now for Bavuma.
Oh, kept low.
Umpire Sudumo not interested.
Just walking away. That one kept low, but he actually shows bat that there was a bit of an inside edge. Everyone just got hands on heads. Keith Dudgeon at the moment is making life very difficult. And if you think about it, who he's making life difficult for, it is a man, Zubair Hamza, who's played for the Proteas. It is a Protea 50 over captain and test captain here, Themba Bavuma.
And
Reza Hendricks
as well.
is is probably going to go to the T20 World Cup. I mean, look at the guys that are struggling against him. Oh,
Being worked over here is the DP World Lions top order. Remember that Dudgeon picked up 4 for 5 in the return fixture.
oh my word. And I'm pretty sure Rapolana will just go ask Bavuma, is he seeing the ball at the moment? It is another snorter of a delivery.
Credit must be given here to Keith Dudgeon. He's made the Lions look at 6s and 7s at almost every delivery here. What has he got to do, you say? It's almost too good to be nicked here. And he's on the verge of a wicket maiden, is Dudgeon.
We ask our statisticians to have a look at that. How many wicket maidens have been bowled in this competition? A wicket maiden, you called it, and what a fantastic delivery. I would be enticed to give him his 4th. Hey, let's nip out 1 or 2 more.
Could he borrow some from a teammate?
Maybe bowled left arm and change his action. But it's 29 for the loss of 1 after 5 overs. Zubair Hamza is on 17. He's been joined by Themba Bavuma. And the wicket to fall was Reza Hendricks in that over. And Keith Dudgeon take a bow. Fantastic bowling.
The incredible stuff here. There's rumours, Gert, that he's been signed to the Rocks or is looking to join the Rocks. So maybe looking to strengthen a side that has also struggled this season, did the G-Bets Rocks. They're up against the Dragons in a bit of a dead rubber game in their fixture, in which they will not only be mindful of who will be getting a contract, who won't be getting a contract, but also who could find themselves not
Searching for one.
yes, searching for one. Yes,
Yeah.
with that side 143 for 5 from their 20 overs, the G-Bets Rocks. 51 from 32 for Clyde Vertem. Kumalo to begin.
He's one of those bowlers that you take a delivery or two just to get used to. A very unorthodox action. Is Mondli Kumalo. A decent bowler. Hasn't really cemented his place in the side. It's the last over of the power play. Oh, there we go. There we go. Up, up and over. Zubair Hamza says, thank you very much. I'll help myself to a 4-4.
And just slap that away. Race away to the boundary. Too much width there from Kumalo. And he wasn't going to miss out there.
Fantastic stuff. It is 33 for the loss of 1 wicket. You can just see the replay there. Short, wide, and just have a whack through the line is Hamza. I mentioned his action. He does have a very low front arm, which we don't normally coach with the youngsters. And doesn't get up there from the ground as well. It's action, but already fall from the over. 33 without, well, for the loss of 1 in the power play. I think they would have been more aiming for around about 50 in the power play, just to take the pressure off them to get the bonus point within the 16. Oh, this one worked off the legs. A lot of work to do for Keith Dudgeon. Can't get there, and it's another 4.
Lovely stroke there. Just picking it up off of his pads and pushing himself into that line there and make sure that he gets going. Wide of the crease comes Kumalo. Flicks this backward of square. Diving effort from Dudgeon, not able to get to cut it off there.
Oh, this time just have a bit of a flat bat. If not, why not? And try and muscle that one over mid-off. You could just see Zubair Hamza dropping his head and thinking, what have I done? That one could have gone anywhere.
Yeah,
8 runs from the over already.
Didn't quite time that one, did Zubair Hamza. Mondli Kumalo has been expensive, 8 from it. And why I say expensive with just 8 runs, you don't have much to play with here, so you've got to be thrifty.
He finishes it off well, 2 dots in a row. It is 37 for the loss of 1. It is the power play gone. It is only Reza Hendricks who was the victim. Interesting to see what they will do. Will they give Keith Dudgeon another over? It looks like he's taking off his cap. This is a rarity as well. We saw the maiden wicket, and now we see our openings bowler bowling his 4 in a trot.
I think Michael Erlang's got the right idea here. If he's going to have any chance of making inroads here to this Lions top order, it's got to be Keith Dudgeon. He's just bowled so well. Just loves bowling here at the DP World Wanderers.
He loves bowling in the high felt.
He's from here, so hopefully he would be confident in his skills with ball in hand.
That lateral movement that he does get into Themba Bavuma, who's being beaten all ends up by Keith Dudgeon at the moment. Interesting to see how the TS skipper will counter this attack by Dudgeon. Oh, and he gets the nick. He can't counter. Themba Bavuma has just give Shackleton a little bit of slip practice, and it's wicket time for Dudgeon.
Great delivery there from Keith Dudgeon. He worked him over in the previous over. 2 slips waiting, and it was a matter of a foregone conclusion. Bavuma's gone for a duck. It's 37 for 2, and Dudgeon's got his second.
And look at this delivery again, just moving away from the right-hander. Themba Bavuma giving the idea there was a bit of extra bounce. Look at that, but oh, great delivery. And it's another big wicket for Dudgeon as one departs, another one comes in. Rassie van der Dussen coming in at number 4. Higher score of 112 back in the 2012-2013 season. But look at that strike rate, 131 at an average of 36 in T20 cricket. That is phenomenal.
It was a difficult CSA T20 challenge for Rassie van der Dussen. After a very good start to the season with his SA20 being an absolute cracker for him, but he struggled a little bit this season with the bat in hand, and he'll know that he's far better than that when it comes to his standards that he sets for himself. He'll hope to make this innings count, but Keith Dudgeon is on an absolute tear at the moment, Gert.
Oh, we have seen 8 deliveries now from him with no runs scored, and he picked up 2 wickets already. Rassie van der Dussen, how do you counter this man? Oh, he walks across to around about a 4th, 5th stump and just worked him on the leg side down to fine leg. Well, I guess that's one way. Try and eliminate the swing and get right behind it.
Immediately at the other end is Rassie van der Dussen. He knows exactly what he wants and is able to execute it.
And Zubair Hamza has also got the 2 slips next to him as well. And they'll definitely let him know and ask him for a bit of practice more. Dudgeon into Hamza. Oh, this one nipping back into the hips of Hamza. Well spotted this time around, getting right behind it.
Managed to squeak that one away, did Zubair Hamza. Really not enjoying the offering by Keith Dudgeon here, which is a bit of a surprise though, because in the 4-day competition in this very fixture, Zubair Hamza picking up 100 against the Tuskers in that victory for the Lions. That would certainly aid to their victory in the 4-day competition.
Oh, Van der Dussen again just moving across, way across his stumps, trying to eliminate and put Dudgeon off, especially on the length that he's been bowling. He's been bowling brilliant lengths. 2 deliveries to go in his 4 overs, then his allotted bowling spell he's done with. But he's bowled brilliantly, picked up the 2 wickets to fall of Riza Hendricks, and Themba Bavuma will also have a change in commentary after these 2 deliveries. Oh! Although he's moving across, he still managed to beat the outside part of the bat. And as the ball passed, the batsman started going the other way. Well done to the keeper.
Cut him in half there, and as you said, credit to Ntando Zuma for reading that one. Dudgeon, he could have had 3 or 4 or 5 wickets, and he's making these batters look like they're not quite sure what on earth he is offering up here. Look,
only thing
all at odds.
Only thing I'll be thankful for is only 1 delivery left.
Well, Rassie van der Dussen rather has got to shepherd his way through that one.
Oh, and he gets the out. Oh, and he's dropped. Erlang has dropped a regulation first slip catch. Oh my word, Dudgeon is on his haunches. He would have had probably the best top order which he destroyed before. And how unlucky is Keith Dudgeon? Plan working to perfection. Erlang brought him into the attack, gave him his 4, and the same man has now dropped the catch.
It's always tough when the skipper does drop the catch. You can't be too vocal about your displeasure. Just pushing at that one was Rassie van der Dussen. He didn't even look behind him, and Shackleton with hands on his head just walks away. It's the end of 7. It's 39 for 2. The 2 wickets of Hendricks and Bavuma falling both to Keith Dudgeon. And I am joined once again by KG. KG, that was an incredible spell from Keith Dudgeon. All credit to him.
Spell. I was saying off air that if the Tuskers have got any chance of trying to break into the lines, he needed to bowl 4 overs. Perfect plan. He got rid of Temba Bavuma. Rassie van der Dussen also was supposed to be out, but unfortunately was let down by the captain there, putting it down. So very good bowling here from Keith Dudgeon. Just we're swinging it almost like he's bowling with a red ball, getting the ball to really move away.
Absolutely.
And I mean, the build up to the wicket of Temba Bavuma, it wasn't just that ball. It's the previous balls that were coming where Temba Bavuma was missing. So now you're like, I need to get some bat on ball.
Change in pace now with Mangaliso Mhlebele. Right arm, left arm over the wicket, around. Oh, and that one's gone through the wicket keeper. That's a howler from Zuma. And this will run away to the boundary for 4 byes. That's not really the response you want from a side after you nearly picked up another wicket. So umpire Brad White signalling that it's come off the bat rather than through the keeper, and maybe that's why Zuma missing out there. Just have a look at this one again, KG.
Yeah, just getting a bit of a bottom edge there past the keeper, a bit of deflection.
My apologies to Zumas. This one's worked away to a wideish long on position. I thought he'd let that one go through the legs.
Then do we count that as a drop catch also? One of those. Interestingly, Manicam hasn't come onto the field. It's actually Tamsanga that's on. We did see that when he went out that he struggled a little bit with something. So that's why he didn't come back.
Foot or something like that. Really looked uncomfortable when he was dismissed.
And he's one of those bowlers that has also bowled quite decently throughout the season. So it would be a big miss to the Tuskers not to have him back onto the field.
To defend that one is Rassie van der Dussen. Although there's no threat of rain, it's always good to give you an idea of where they need to be in the run chase with DLS, and that's 48 at the moment. It's obviously at the end of the over, so 3 balls left and they're 4 runs shy. Just trickles that onto the onside as Dudgeon does the fielding. They get through for 1.
And as we say that, it's a wonderful day to be at the stadium today. I mean, it's nice. Blue skies, doesn't look like it will rain anytime in the next week or so. So very good day to be out on the field. It's Mangaliso and Mhlebele is just one of those obviously left arm orthodox.
Just cut away to the protective fielder out there in the deep for another single.
Yeah, as you comparison with him to Bjorn Fortuin, and Mangaliso and Mhlebele bowls it a lot slower, looks to get something out of the pitch, if there is anything out of it, looks to entice the batters to try and hit him over. I think good bowling from him.
2 different styles of bowlers. These 2 looking to just knock it about here. At the end of the 8th, it's 47 for 2. Hamza on 32, Van der Dussen on 3, and the partnership now worth 10.
Yeah, I think we had said in the earlier part that the Lions would be looking to probably go at that bonus point. Do you think they're still thinking about getting that bonus point?
Well, certainly I would imagine that they would feel confident in their chances. There's still 8 overs left for them to get the score.
And 72 of 48 balls.
86 from 72 deliveries left to win the game.
Yeah.
But obviously the 4 fewer overs than that in order to get the bonus point. And why is the bonus point so important? Because if they do have the bonus point, it'll mean they finish first and therefore will play the winner in the game between the Western Province and Titans. Titans having nearly bundled out Western Province, 113 for 9 in their 20 overs, will now take the field in just a few moments to bat. And there's a change of bowling, obviously, from the golf call it drive in. It's Mondli Kumalo. Up and over the top. That'll bounce short. And there's an argument to be made there. Tando Ntini, don't really think he knew much about that. He's in the shade. He's got his shades on. But maybe not aware of what's going on. He didn't see it as he shakes his head.
Yeah, it seems to be caught napping a little bit there. I think there was an opportunity. It's one of those games also that whenever those half chances were created, you need to try and go for them. I think Ntini will look back and say should have tried to go for that.
Just miscues that one. Does Zubair Hamza trots to the other end for a single. The surface has been one that if you've thrown the cutter in now and again, you certainly put pressure onto the batters. You're asking them questions. You don't just let them settle into a rhythm. And that's where a lot of the mistimed strokes will come out. Yeah. And guys will not throw their wicket away, but give a wicket away through an unforced error.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's the pressure that's been created.
What a stroke! Rusty van der Dissen comes across. Bang! Over the bowler's head. 20 rows back. 6.
Definitely the intention is to get those runs within the 16 overs, just to make sure that it's on the safe side. I think even the first 2 balls, there's a bit of movement from the batters to try and really go for it. I think they would also look at Monty Kumales, would look at that again. And Rusty van der Dissen just coming, closing the line and just hitting it down for a maximum over the side screen. I think this is one of those you look at also. Keith Judgen bowled that side and he gave absolutely nothing away. Mondli Kumalo was a little bit inexperienced and then just put pressure on him.
Again, Van der Dissen coming across his stumps, but this time trying to sneak it away through that offside region. And the other Kumalo doing the fielding there. Tamsanga trying to back up in a Kumalo effort. 8 runs from the over, 2 to come.
I just got the feeling that Rassi van der Dissen will probably keep on going here, keep on trying to. I think there's no worry at the moment for them to lose the game. But even if they do, they're still going to have a home semi-final. But if they can get it, then it's just a good momentum to have taking it to the semi-final coming up soon.
Absolutely. A little bit of width, Van der Dissen with the cutter. He was aware of it, just dampening that one into the surface.
Yeah, good change of pace there from Mondli Kumalo, seeing that Van der Dissen is probably finding it easier when the ball is coming on there, and that time around just a bit of a slower one. We'll be looking to close the over.
No run is the call. So just 1 ball remaining in this, the 9th over. No, it's overballed rather, my apologies. 9 gone, it's 55 for 2. 3 dots to finish the over. It's a great way to reply after being put under pressure with that huge 6 over your head.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good. I think the bowler always feels better about themselves if they can close the over a little bit better here. I mean, be looking at the scoreboard now, I'm sure they know that the game that they're playing now is a shortened game than what they're expecting because of what the Lions are looking to do. So very interesting. We'll see also how Zubair Hamza looks to go about his innings. Is he going to anchor the innings or does he also need to go from the other side?
I think a good complement between these two will see them get home in the end. Hamza just working this away to the onside. There's 3 men converging. There's nobody at the strikers' end stumps. Maybe worth seeing if they could have gone for another one. They would no real pressure.
I actually thought that they would push to get the 2 there, but obviously you don't want to give away any silly wickets, especially in the commanding position that you're in. The last thing that you want to do is to get a run out and end up putting yourself under unnecessary pressure.
Didn't quite get the line of that one, did Rassie van der Dussen, but quick call there from Zubair Hamza means that he's home safe for 2. A bit of awareness and good complementary batting from the 2. Good running there.
It's always important, isn't it? The chemistry between the batters of, first of all, just loud calling and also trusting one another that, if the person is going to call, is looking to go for it. They caught Shackleton there just a little bit on his heels there and managed to put him under pressure and get a double.
Hlabela just moving his long off very wide. And happy to defend that one is Rassie van der Dussen. Interesting field grouping here. He's got almost 2 men at extra cover. One on the shoulder of the other. Mdini and Erlang looking for that mistimed push. Full toss and lumped away down to long on. Shackleton cleans up for 1.
They had the crowd excited there, seeing that full toss there. The crowd was up, ready to catch it, but not the timing that Rassie van der Dussen was looking for that time around, and just hitting it down to long on for a single.
Full toss, hammered away in the sweep shot. There's a chance for 20k and it's been dropped. Oh no, some fan in the crowd will be disappointed with himself. But somebody that won't be is Zubair Hamza. What a stroke. A gift from Hlabela. And he wasn't going to miss out on that one. Just have a look at this one again. Maybe they missed out early in the over. On one knee. Wallop. 6. Flat as you like. Hands on heads there. And again. Back to back. Chance again. And it's hit the stands there. Oh no. Hlabela has been put to the sword here. 16 runs. And the Lions need 62 to win. It's 10 gone, halfway, 71 for 2.
Very good batting here from Zubair Hamza, just transferring the pressure back onto the Lions this time around. We were just speaking about how Hlabela's got good control, bowling it nice and slow. But Zubair Hamza looking at the target that they're looking to get in the next 6 overs or so, deciding that there's an opportunity for me to go for the runs, and they are hitting Hlabela for 2 sixes in a row.
Just give you an update of what's going on around the country. The Dolphins are 28 for 1 in search of 131 against the Dalphabet Warriors. Just a reminder that the Warriors need a bonus point win and the Lions to come undone here for them to end up in first. Smashed away onto the onside. Doesn't quite time it as well as he'd like, but they'll come for 2 without much fuss.
Yeah, didn't get the timing that I was looking for that time around. Van der Dussen.
And just an update with that game. Remember, both of those sides, Warriors and Dolphins, have already qualified for the semi-finals. It's just a matter of who plays whom in the semi-final games. The first semi-final on the 24th and the second on the 25th of this month, with the final taking place on the 28th. Change in the field. Fine leg into the ring, and car corner is dispensed with.
I think the importance also for that Warriors-Dolphins game is that whoever wins, they might end up hosting the home semi-final, which is a very important aspect also.
Slashed away over backward point. It's 1 bounce and 4. Too much width from Mondli Khumalo, and Rassie van der Dussen's on the charge.
Yeah, Rassie van der Dussen with that international pedigree that he has there, putting a lot of pressure on the younger bowlers, the more inexperienced bowlers. Between him and Zubair Hamza, looking at to put pressure on them, and as we said, they are men short with Manicam not coming on to bowl, so it's going to be very tough here for the Tuskers to contain these 2 batters.
Just works this away onto the onside. The other one that they will be missing, the Tuskers, was Mbulelo Budaza. Only bowling 1 ball in the last game and becoming undone there. Limping off the field with the physio, and with Keith Dudgeon done and dusted as far as the DP World Lions are concerned. There's not enough venom for them to worry about. Well, credit there to Mondli Khumalo. It's a great delivery there. It's Yorker and not able to do anything with it is Zubair Hamza.
Yeah, tough, I think, for the Tuskers, as we said. It's been quite a tough season for them, losing the right to host any game, so they actually had to live in a hotel or in a suite every time. They just keep on traveling. It can't be easy mentally and physically to always be playing away from home.
Short and pulled onto the onside. Lovely timing there, but they will consider a second and don't get it. It's well timed there, but even better fielding there in the deep for the restriction to 1. 79 now for 2, and Hamza is creeping up towards that milestone. 47 from 34 deliveries, and Rassi van der Distance trying to play catch up here. 20 from 18. They need to get that 133 in 5.1 overs or less. Full toss and swatted away to the onside for 1, and that means Van der Distance will retain the strike. It's 11 gone, 80 for 2.
I think Van der Distance might have felt that he missed out a little bit on that one. They full toss with a lot of width, with a lot of men up on the offside. Could have hit it anyway, but unfortunately didn't get the connection that he was looking for.
Dolphins 32 for 2 in search of those 99 remaining runs. 131 is what they need for victory against the Warriors. In the other crucial game in CSA T20, Titans are 12 without loss, just shy of the third over in their reply, looking for 114 against the Western Province side. And the other game that's on the go at the moment, 57 without loss, are the Dragons against the G-Bets Rocks. First ball of the new over from the left arm spinner is just worked away. So they're happy just to play one apiece. And looks like the Titans have lost a wicket, KG.
Yeah, they've lost the wicket of Rivaldo Munsami, getting bowled by Kyle Simmons. Just bowled one straight on, and Munsami just got 4 of 13 balls.
He's struggled since being promoted to the top of the order, has Rivaldo Munsami. In a time gone by, he opened the batting with Quinton de Kock in a final against the Dolphins, in which the Dolphins were bundled out fairly cheaply in CSA T20. This one's just defended back to Nhlebela.
I think it's just one of those that you find yourself in a team, and if somebody's not performing in their positions, you get moved around quite a bit, which might be upsetting.
Lots of flight on that one, but well weighted by Hamza. Drives this out into the offside, and good bit of running from the pair gives them 2 for it. 83 now for 2, and Hamza's 1 away from a half century.
I wonder if psychologically Nhlebela might be thinking that in the last over Hamza did deposit me over that leg side for 2 sixes, and as you see in the last ball he actually tossed it, but then he bowled it very wide, as almost as to say stay away from the leg side.
Darts it in at the pads here, and they decide they don't want to run. Good bit of fielding there of his own bowling from Smangaliso Nhlebela.
Always very key for spinners in particular to be very good at their own bowling.
Consistency is key. You've just got to hit those marks time and time again. He's got him. He's bowled him through the gate there. Zubair Hamza is disappointed with himself, but it's gone straight through him there. And not really much of a celebration, but it's a wicket. Zubair Hamza's gone for 49. And it wasn't nothing stroke really. He just put bat in the way rather than play a defensive stroke. He's gone for 49. And the lines are 83 for 3.
Yeah, let's just say a bit of a nothing shot as we look at it again. Zubair Hamza just playing all around it. I think it's psychologically he's thinking of getting to that 50, so he's just thinking, let me just get a 1 on it and then run and go to the other side and get a 50. And that can be your own undoing at times when you try. You've been betting in a certain momentum, now you're changing the momentum because you want to get to the milestone, and that was his undoing that time around, missing a straight one from Klebel.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with himself. As you said, just playing around the delivery there. Really unhappy there. And he'll want to just forget about that one very quickly. Am I correct in seeing Budaza on the field? We'll just have to confirm that for you.
Yeah, it is.
So they've just decided that somebody who wasn't fit enough to play is now fit enough to field. And how they would have missed him in this game. The partnership between he and Keith Dudgeon has been a valuable one. It was he that picked up 4 wickets in that One Day Cup game in which the Lions were undone away from home. Klebela getting a crucial wicket here. He's been expensive, but getting a wicket at just the right time. 1 ball remaining in the 12th, and it's Mitchell van Buren who comes to the wicket ahead of Connor Esterhuizen. Still a job to be done here. 50 runs required for victory. They are ahead of DLS Par, but they need to be well ahead of DLS Par in order to get the required bonus point. And they'll be either playing the Titans or Western Province. And a good start to Mitchell van Buren. It's the end of Klebela's 3rd over. He's 1 for 27. And after 12, it's 83 for 3.
It's going to be very interesting how Budaza will do his fielding if the ball is hit at him, because there were question marks about his fitness levels, of which we're thinking that if he was fit enough to play
To field, yeah, why couldn't he bowl?
why couldn't he bowl?
Change in bowling, the skipper is going to bring himself on. Michael Erlang is going to offer some turning deliveries, and his own time with ball in hand has been a bit of an inconsistent one. He's not your first choice spinner, but recognizing that pace off the ball does have an impact, so maybe hoping to steal a wicket away.
Yeah, I think that's basically almost forced into that kind of a bowling with Manicam, as we've mentioned a couple of times, that he is off the field, and thus they are by bowler short, if you can say like that. Then Erlang, basically as the captain, has to take the responsibility upon his shoulders here.
Oh, the skipper is going to be bowling from the corner drive end round the wicket and just worked away to the onside. They're happy for the 1. And I wonder whether or not here will be an opportunity. If Van der Dussen gets a hold of Erlang, maybe he's going to go after him. But he will be hitting to the long boundary if he does decide to go after him, hitting with the spin.
Yeah, definitely it's going to be a very interesting contest, I think, with Mitchell van Buren also. Very busy customer. Mitchell van Buren is always looking to use his crease, looking to access all sides of the field. So it's going to be a very interesting contest here with a part-time spin bowler to say bowling to these 2 gentlemen batting right now.
And he's somebody that can really put pressure on a fielding side with his running between the wickets. When he gets going, he can really turn those 1s into 2s and accelerate the game. And suddenly you realize that now, instead of controlling the game, you're chasing it. Again, just down the wicket and squeezed away to the onside. So 1 run for it. And I think that's job done for the Lions if they can keep this consistency.
Yeah, I think they would be hoping that the other result between the Warriors and the Dolphins, because it's becoming a bit more harder for them now to get that bonus point. As you say, Mitchell van Buren just hits 1 to that vacant mid-wicket area for another single.
And also understanding the ramifications of where they end up in the log.
I'm not too sure also that in terms of the home semi-final, would they be too disappointed if they finish?
Well, they've already got a home semi-final,
Yeah.
so it's as you said, yeah.
But is it more maybe thinking of the final? Because if you finish first, then you host a semi-final and a final if you win that semi-final. Maybe that also plays
into the mind, yes.
I think they're also in a position now where you've actually got nothing to lose because they will play a semi-final anyway.
Yes.
So they might as well go out there, look to finish first so that they can almost guarantee themselves a
home final in addition, well, if they get over the hurdle of the semi-final. And they've had 2 very close games against the momentum multiplier Titans, and so with the Titans in the driving seat, as this just worked away on behind square on the onside, with the Titans 32 for 1 in search of 114. Maybe the Lions want to avoid the Titans. You don't want a squeaky game in a semi-final. 13 gone, it's 89 for 3. Van Edison on 25 and Van Buren 3 from 4.
Yeah, very interesting. I was actually thinking about it, that maybe you want to avoid the momentum multiplier Titans, play 2 very close game with them. You don't maybe want to play them in the semi-final again. But a game of cricket, if you want to win the title, you have to beat everyone. So it doesn't matter when you play. You want to have them back at home. So hey, let's go for it.
Clavella to wrap up his spell here. 1 for 27 from 3 thus far. Not sure if the Lions will want to take on the WSB Western Province side, because that's the side they had to beat in the super over earlier in. This one's chipped away, but it'll fall comfortably short of Shackleton at long on. That's super over in which Mapaka bowled to George Linder and Carl Verena. What an absolute drama-filled day that was, after a drama-filled day on the Friday before in which the Lions managed to squeak past the Titans, but seems almost a world away. Chavela in. Squeezes this past the man in the 45 ring. It's Budaza. Vain dive, and it goes to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, vain dive that time around from Mpulela Budaza. Diving to his weaker side, his left-handed, diving to the right side. As we take a look at that again, bit too straight that time around from Clavella, and Van Edison just get some healthy bat on it to get it past the diving Bulelo Budaza.
Yeah, you asked about what would be the response if they do hit it to him. Well, there you go. He's nearly chipped it straight back to him. It was a soft shot, and Clavella will be disappointed with himself. It's an opportunity that's gone a begging there. Maybe just falling agonizingly short of Clavella.
Yeah, I'd be very disappointed that couldn't get a catch from that one.
Just a push at that one from Rassie van Edison. And maybe 2 new men at the crease would put some pressure on the Lions. Just squeezes that one out too long off for the single. 95 now for 3. And the Lions require 38 from 38.
I think the bonus point's still a thought.
It will need a lot of work in the next 2 overs.
Yeah.
No run is the call early there from Zubair Hamza. I think the Lions will maybe just want to get the victory.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing. Also, sometimes teams often look too far ahead of themselves and end up getting themselves in a bit of unnecessary pressure and trouble.
Swipe that hard. There's some work here for Shackleton to do. They're going to run just the single. And that is the end of 14 overs. And the end of Clavella's spell. And the end of my spell as I make way for Gert Maloney. Thank you, KG.
Thank you, David. As we welcome the Poloni with an M back into commentary. Mr. Maloney, welcome back to commentary.
Thank you very much.
Got a game here where the Lions look like they are quite ahead. We were speaking about them getting a bonus point earlier on, but it seems like it might be a bit too far away from them at the moment. They'll need to get the 37 runs in 12 balls. I don't think they'll be looking to play any silly cricket to do that, so it's just about been safe and basically just winning the game, just getting the W that you need.
It's also just staying with winning ways. They've had a couple of good weeks. They had a big win over the Dragons, and now it looks like they're going to have a decent win over the Tuskers as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they were obviously looking to bounce back and winning after losing that close game against the Titans on Friday. First ball there from Jarlanken to Van Buren. It just blocks it out. I think it's just look at the way that they're approaching now, is that they just want to get that win. Right?
And also with the logs the way it is, I mean, you already got a home semi-final. You're guaranteed of a home semi-final. Doesn't matter how this match goes. So why take the risk?
We were just speaking earlier. Van Buren gives himself a bit of room. There's a bit of miscommunication, but he manages to get back. You're just speaking earlier with David about you've got the home semi-final. Maybe it's not a bad thing to finish second and avoid the momentum multiplier Titans, who are now 61 for 1 after 6.3 overs versus the Western Province in the other match. But obviously, like we said, if you're in the game of cricket, you look to win everything. And Erlang, Mitchell Van Buren was looking to access that leg side, but just misses it, and the umpire says wide.
And also, it's about momentum as well. You want to go into the semi-finals with a bit of momentum.
Yeah.
Bobby!
This time around, Mitchell Van Buren just backs away, hits to that offside. And a good fielding there from Kumalo to prevent it to go down to the boundary. And it just crossed for a single.
And also, winning is a habit. So if you're used to winning, you've got a bit of momentum coming in. Like I said, the last couple of weeks is very good for the Lions. Coming into that semi-finals, that's the big one. Your home semi-final, they've made this a bit of a fortress.
Trying to find the distance, he just tries to hit it by that extra cover, which was cut down, preventing them to get a single. And the distance hangs back this time around and hits it down to that long on. They'll be looking for 2. Good running here from Mitchell Van Buren, turning that 1 into 2. Very good running there from Mitchell Van Buren, and responsiveness also from Van der Disten to come through for the second.
Actually heard as they crossed each other where the call was 2 from Van Buren. He had no doubt that he was touching and turning. So a great job by Van Buren. Brings the 100 up for the DP World Lions. So it's 100 for the loss of 3 after 15 overs.
Yeah, good steady Sunday to be at the DP World Wanderers, who will be hosting a semi-final come in the middle of the week. So very good stadium to come at. Obviously the iconic DP World Wanderers to come at and watch some cricket. And there is more cricket coming at the stadium later on in the week.
Yeah, definitely a home semi-final for all the Joburgers. They're going to enjoy it. As we have a quick recap there, the AET Tuskers batted first, 132 for the loss of 9 in their allotted 20 overs, with Cameron Shackleton at 42 of 36, and then also Carl Nipper, 30 of 25. Bowling-wise, Peter had a fantastic run out. He's 4 overs, 3 for 15, and also Bjorn Fortuin picking up 2 for 19. The spinners doing a lot of damage there.
As we say that, we've got Tando Ntini back into the attack from the golf course end. Ntini to Van Buren. Squeaky there from Van Buren. Just gets a top edge of it. You would say that you need a second slip or third slip to get it, but then just goes through that vacant slip cordon for a boundary.
I'll tell you what, you'll have 2 Marco Janssen brothers standing on top of one another to get to that one. I was very high as well. But yeah, it's just that no one behind the wicket just allows Van Buren to free up his hands and just throw it at him. You can see this ball from Tanutini not swinging in as much as the previous deliveries did. And that one just popped over. And a bit of luck there for Van Buren.
Yeah, it just looked like a ball that's on their 4th fist stump, trying to hit it to the leg side. But this time around, a nice full-blooded drive down to that cover boundary. Then they come back for a single.
That just looked better, didn't it? Although it's not the same result as the streaky 4, it just looks a lot better.
Well, I would say that if I can get a 4 from a streaky type of a shot, I'll get that every day. But of course, you want to get the ball out of the middle of the bat.
Yeah, well,
That
KG,
shows
I was very much a tail ender in my day. So if there's a 4 on the scorecard, it doesn't show how it got there.
And nobody will tell, eh?
Cricketing stories, much like fisherman stories. The sixes get bigger and longer as you get older.
Rassie van der Dussen comes across and hits it to that cow corner. Created a chance for Khumalo, who only manages to hit it over the boundary for a 6.
I'll tell you what, he just misjudged that when he almost came a few steps in to the field, but Rassie van der Dussen hit that flat, hard, and with authority. If you look at the replay here, that was stand and deliver stuff, and he held nothing back. Bang, Khumalo, great effort, just off the fence. If he was on the fence, oh, trouble times.
Trouble times indeed. That is the way that Rassie van der Dussen, when he's looking to hit you for a 6, he almost always does that the whole time. Goes across that off stump and accesses that leg stump, especially because on that leg side, it's actually a bit of a shorter boundary. So I think he will be looking to go once again to target that leg side. Once again, it goes across, but this time around, Tandontini manages to bowl a Yorker, and Van der Dussen just hits it down to that long one for his single.
Cam Shackleton has shown that he's got a bit of a rocket arm. Once that cannon is loaded, it's coming at you. And they've been very weary to take on the arm. But again, like you mentioned, Rassie van der Dussen has got that knack of just moving over. And it's like you said, to a 5th stump. He moves across a lot. And then he forces the bowler to either bowl straight at him, where he then accesses the straight boundary, or that mid-wicket. Ntini into Van Buren.
Van der Buren just guides it to that third man in the circle for a single. It is the way that the modern cricketers look to play. They really don't mind at all. The modern batters don't mind at all to expose that stumps, to say to you that here's the stumps, try to hit them. I'm going to back myself to play the shot that I'm very comfortable in playing. And if you can hit the stumps, so be it. If you don't, I'm going to go after you.
It just, as a bowler, it sets you off completely, because you can't really settle into a line and length, and it just forces you to do something different.
Once again, Rassie van der Dussen goes across that off stump, accesses the leg side and hits it over long on for another 6 in this over.
Much better timing on that one, and placement, because that was in between that mid-wicket and mid-on area, and accessing that boundary once again takes his score to 45. And now 16 overs gone. This is where the bonus point now falls away for the DP World Lions. Just look at that backlip. Look at the intent. Going across. 5th, 6th stump. And bang. Tando. Thank you very much. Half a dozen.
Good shot there from Rassie van der Dussen. As we said, he backs himself all the time to hit it over in that leg side for a 6. And that time, once again, he did the same thing. And as we say that, looks like there's a bit of a change of bowling from the colored drive, and it is Kagiso Rapulana to come into the attack.
It's a brave move, shall we say. We look at the
ball it so far. Rapulana to Van der... and Rapulana gets into the heads of Van Buren, and he was excited there. He was looking to put more the umpire under pressure there on the first ball.
It's almost like he didn't wait for the umpire. He was celebrating. For him, that was out any day of the week.
How precious of a weekend would have that been for him.
Everyone will start practicing to the boundary.
Rafulana to Van Buren again, and this time around Van Buren gets back on it. The man at deep square leg has got no chance, and that goes away for a boundary from Van Buren.
Just works it around the corner with the angle, with the turn, and Van Buren now brings the score to only 10 runs required. And 22 deliveries with 7 wickets in hand. I think it's safe to say the Lions will take this one.
I think it's the length to get in, but then at the last minute, just single down to square leg. To Van Buren, nice and wide, and Van Buren just throwing his hands at that one, doesn't manage to get any contact at it. Only 3 runs needed from the Lions to win this match.
Yeah, it's almost an anticlimax from what we expected this match would be.
Yeah,
even the band has gone quiet.
Yeah, they're like, it's good that we just save our energy for the semi-final. We've got this one in the bag. Oh, Mitchell van Buren finishes it in style over that mid-wicket for a huge 6. Gave another opportunity to get that 20,000 that was put down in the crowd there. Very good shot from Mitchell van Buren to end the innings. Wow.
What a shot and what a way to finish it. And how nice is Mitchell van Buren?
50 partnership.
Yeah, the 50 partnership come up, and he's given the crowd something to catch up, maybe take a bit of money home in their last ball. And great stuff. But yeah, 50 partnership, I think it's been set up by that man in your screen there, Rassie van der Dussen. He's 51 of 35. And then also, Keith Dudgeon, he nearly did it again. He did it before, he nearly did it again. They had no answers to his bowling, and it's going to be one heck of a semi-final.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was very good bowling from Keith Dudgeon. He would feel that he probably deserved to get more wickets than what he did. But you know, sometimes they do say that you don't have to swing it too much. I think at times it was just swinging too much, missing the bat. But very good bowling from Keith Dudgeon. I think it was a wonderful game as David joins us back into commentary to wrap this one up.
It was a brilliant game here in terms of the home side who weren't at home today in this fixture, the DP World Lions. It's been an interesting one as there were so many ramifications necessary for sides to find out where they were at the end of this game. And just a reminder that the Lions not winning with the bonus point means that the Warriors could find themselves in contention if they win their game with a bonus point. And what does that mean, gentlemen, in terms of who plays whom in the semi-finals?
I think at the end of the day, they just want that momentum going through into that semi-finals. Like I said, it's going to be one of those things. They know they got the home semi-final. The Warriors got the home semi-final. Is it going to be the Titans that's going to snap up that last one? The Dolphins are going through as well. They've already qualified. So it's a match between the Western Province and the Titans that's in the balance at the moment. And you'll give us an update there, KG, where we are with that match.
Yeah, at the moment the Titans are well ahead against the Western Province. They are 83 for 2, just requiring a further 31 from 59 balls. They would feel that they're quite ahead. They should be able to win that game and finish in that 4th spot to guarantee them a semi-final. But I think it's one of those that you're in a professional space now. It shouldn't matter who you are playing and where you are playing them. It is the nature of the game that sometimes you have to play away, you have to play at home. The Lions have done everything that they can, including beating the Warriors, who were looking like they were running away with it in the beginning of the season. And then just in the last few games, the Warriors just look like they are slowing down just a little bit. And the Lions started picking at the right time, which might be very important for them going into that semi-final, looking to win the semi-final, and of course go to the final.
After winning the toss and deciding that they will have a ball, the AET Tuskers, off the back of a Shackleton 42 and contributions from Nipper, Rapulana and Ntini, ended up on 132 for 9. Ngabayomzi Peter with 3 wickets, and again in the mix there, contributions as well from Fortuin and Sipamla. And after, as you mentioned, a brilliant spell from Keith Dudgeon, 2 for 11 from his 4. It was Rassie van der Dussen and Zubair Hamza who put the AET Tuskers bowlers to the sword, and getting home in the end with a massive 6 over mid-wicket from Mitchell van Buren. Gert, your thoughts on the season up to now?
It's been a roller coaster, to be honest. There was a couple of upsets. We spoke about this one, particularly this, where the Tuskers totally upset the DP World Lions, and we thought that there might be a couple of underdogs coming through the ranks, but then again the unions just pulled together, and we saw the big teams putting up their hands once again and just stating where they are in South African cricket, with the Lions, Warriors and the Dolphins qualifying before the last weekend already. It just shows you how healthy our cricket is.
KG, talk to us about the depth of those squads or those unions that have been able to, over the long season, field players that have been able to do the job when others have been either rested or injured.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's of paramount importance to have the depth that you need in the team, because it is a very long season. It's actually, I think it might be one of the longest seasons that we have seen in South African cricket, going well into April, where the wickets are also starting to deteriorate a little bit. So within the players might have felt, some of them might have been that they're tired. It's a long season, playing the 4-day cricket and then playing SA 20, having to come back here and play again. So the bigger unions, so to call it, with your Western Province, your Lions, your Titans, have found something towards the end of the season. I mean, we're looking at the Titans. They looked like they were struggling in the bit. They won the first 2 games, and then once the IPL players left, they looked to struggle a little bit. They've had to make some changes, blending in new players. Your Luande Pretorius was still in school. Your Steven Stock was still in school. Jack Lees is now playing. Rivaldo Munsami has come up. The Lions, the experience has just been there from them with players. You look at some players, like there are some players there that will be in contention for that World Cup, with your Ryan Rickelton really up there, Riza Hendricks, who a lot of people feel like he should have played a lot of more games for South Africa, especially in World Cups, but then he just didn't get it. We've got Temba Bavuma, the experience of Temba Bavuma. I think Bjorn Fortuin will also be another one that will be putting his end up and looking to go through the thing. So it's been a wonderful season. Had so many close games. We had games where it's 2 runs here. There was a draw here between the Titans and the Western Province, which is something that you don't see often. Unfortunately, the time wasn't there for them to play a super over. So it's been a very interesting season. Yes, maybe some people might look and say that we didn't get those big runs, the 180s and the 190s that you maybe want to see. But even those low scores that we've had, we've always had a challenge. I think that's the most important thing, is that when you want to keep the game of cricket interesting, it cannot be a game where you just go out there, one team scores 250, then there's nothing in for the bowlers. So it's been a very balanced season, you would say, between the bowlers and the batters, where the bowlers always felt like we've got a chance of restricting the batters, and the batters always had a chance. So I think it's been a very wonderful season here for
David, for you, what has stood out? There was a couple of young players coming through, a couple of interesting new blends coming through, 1 or 2 players that was revived, like Semetsu, who was revived. What stood out for you this season?
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Gert. It's been an opportunity for some youngsters to get their chance in all formats. I've been impressed by how the under-19s have transitioned into professional cricket. It's always a tough one when you've come from an under-19 side that's done well, and you find yourself having to, well, see where you fit into the balance of the squad. You've got experienced guys around you, and where do you contribute? How do you contribute?
And step up to that level.
Absolutely, and you've been able to witness it with Gwana Mapaka. I mean, for me, that was a crucial moment for him in his career, in bowling a super over in which he was able to bowl to 2 senior guys within South African cricket, Carl Verreynne and George Linde, and got the better of them. As you mentioned, a guy like Sia Semetu, who really fought back after being in the ethers of South African cricket to contribute. There's a lot of questions that will be asked of players as they head into the winter break. Some will go on and play cricket in the United Kingdom, but there will be questions asked who's going to keep a contract, who will lose their contract. But there are 3 games left after this round of round-robin games for players to put their hand up and say, I want to retain my contract, or maybe I want to move on from where I am. So an opportunity presents itself at the start of every season for every single player to make a name for themselves, whether it's to upgrade your contract or to perhaps put your name in contention for the national side. There's a lot of questions to be asked ahead of the World Cup later this year. But for me, the youngsters transitioning as well as they have has been the highlight for me.
And KG, last word from you.
Yeah, I was actually going to pose a question to you and put you on the spot here to say that if today, at the end of, obviously the CSA T20 is not really finished, but if you were to put under pressure and say that pick your top 6 for the World Cup.
Well, that's going to be a difficult one. Do you go with experience? Do you go with who put their hand up? Do you take the last season or so? Because the CSA 20 is there as well. There's a couple that's doing fantastically well down in the IPL. So there's so many questions. I mean, can you leave a guy like Andre Claessen's out of the mix? You cannot ignore what he's doing at the moment. Markram has not put up the big scores, but he's been so consistent there as well. You look at guys here, a guy like Keith Dudgeon. Let's talk about his bowling over the last season.
Yeah.
Is that someone that's never had an opportunity that you might just want to say, hang on, there's something special here? I'll tell you what, I don't want to be a selector because it is going to be a really difficult job, especially with the extended season that we've had. There's a couple of guys who've kind of fallen out the bus a little bit, who we thought was shoo-ins to go, and now all of a sudden say, hold on, there's other guys putting up their hands. So being a selector now, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, like I said, I think definitely you look at somebody like Ryan Rickelton, who we felt that you should have gotten more games for the Proteas. Maybe the opportunity is there now with Ryan Rickelton. Then you've got Themba Bavuma. Then you have to fit in Riza Hendricks in there, Aiden Makram in there, and Quentin de Kock. Yeah, I think Quentin de Kock is still available to play T20 cricket. So that's another way. Where do you fit? Because you obviously in the T20 game also you don't want to find yourself in a position where your Hendrik Klaasen bets too low. You almost want to say that 1-2 years and then 3 years we can have guys set there, but then 4, 5, 6 you almost like want to have a floating type of thing. You still got Marco Jansen, you still got David Miller, you still got Tristan Stubbs, who's been creaming the ball at the IPL at the moment. So it is a problem for the selectors, but a good problem to have, because it's one of those where like we've got so many guys that are putting their hand up. Who do we go for? It's one of those that you go this way, some people might feel that this one is missing out, and then you go the other way, but some people might feel that you're missing out. But
it all depends on and at the end of the day, if you win the World Cup, no one will say anything. If
definitely.
You don't win, then this guy should have gone with.
So say, no, this one was better than this one, but that's the thing. That's the nature of the game.
Well, from me, this highlight of the season was just working with you guys. Thank you very much. It has been an absolute honor working for Pitch Vision and on the CSA platform, and also the SuperSport Oza now. It was great fun to work. David Mitchley, was great meeting you, was great working with you. I thank you for you've always been the guy that's come up with the most prepared person I've known. So thank you very much. KG, was very nice meeting you. Was a fantastic season. We're going to see more of each other. The guys from Pitch Vision, the producers, cameramen, you did a fantastic job throughout the season. We thank you very much. Your jobs isn't done though. You still got a couple of games to go.
Yeah.
But we are done, and we thank everyone who's watched throughout this series. Thank you very much. It has been phenomenal for us to be with you. Look after yourself and each other. For myself, I'm going to leave the last words for the senior men of the not in age. I must mention that. Not in age. But the commentary stand. For myself, Gert Maloney, it's been an honor to speak with you, to share the cricket with you, and do two of the most things that I love in life. It is talk and watch cricket. David Mitchley, KG, thank you very much. Look after yourself and each other. Have a great winter.
Yeah, definitely. I think Mr. Poloni with an M, Gert Maloney, has wrapped it out quite nicely there. And just again from Pitch Vision, the amount of improvement that has been made in the production in the last couple of months or so, they've really done well to make sure that we can give quality matches to the spectators out there. It's been a wonderful season, and unfortunately with the last 3 games we will most likely be watching on our screens or come into the stadium, but it's been a wonderful season. I've really enjoyed. I've always said to people that they ask me what you want to do in your life. I say I want to talk cricket the whole day. So I've been given an opportunity to talk cricket the whole day by literally being behind the mic. So it's been a wonderful season. My debut season also in commentary, so it's been a wonderful season. And what better way also to be with your knowledgeable David on my right, and Mr. Poloni with all this energy and energy vibes that has been given throughout the season. So from myself, Kagiso Masubelele, aka KG, I'm out.
It's been an absolute privilege to bring you every single moment of the South African summer. Thank you to Cricket South Africa, Pitch Vision, SuperSport, and all of you who have tuned in game after game as we've brought you the 2023-2024 season from all of us here. It's a very good afternoon to you all, and good night.